Hey, you're here. Fleas in it.
Gwyneth Paltrow is all out of goop. Vin Diesel goes back to his roots. And this just in, Winona Ryder yells at clouds.
Oh, it's time for class.
Class is in session!
Roll call. Bueller.
I'm gonna be late for class.
Bueller.
Am I hallucinating here? Just what in the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm late for class.
You are mine now. You belong to me.
Did you study for the test?
No more complaining. No more Mr. Kimble to go to the bathroom. Nothing. There is no bathroom.
Hello, classmates. Welcome to Middle Class Film Class. I'm your host for today, Tyler.
I'm Joseph. And I'm Peter.
We have a great show for you today. Welcome everyone on YouTube Live. Thank you for joining us and otherwise. And of course, the OG classmates listening in podcast land.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back in the studio.
Yes.
Not infirmed anymore.
You're back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm halfway there.
How's the herp?
The herp?
I heard you had a flare up.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to air that on.
Well, how's the hep?
Well, let's not.
Tyler passed his hepatitis test. 2 A's and a B.
Yeah.
I am suffering from tetanus, though.
Yeah. No, tetanus is something not to joke about. Everyone get your tetanus shots.
I think the worst, scariest sort of like quote unquote common disease that everybody knows about is rabies.
Oh,
Rabies is terrifying to
Well,
me.
yeah, because they the only cure for it is that they have to put you in a coma and let it pass through your body.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's called the Milwaukee Protocol, where they basically
Milwaukee.
They basically put you in a coma and they let the virus do its thing like throughout your brain, and they're just like, okay, well, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, you're dead. So
Is that true?
I heard you have to
How long are you in a coma for?
I heard you have to get like 6 shots into your stomach.
I don't know.
At the very least to prevent it, but by the time you show symptoms, it's too late.
Yeah, when you show symptoms, it's already too late.
You're dead.
That's why I don't fuck with bats as much as I really like bats.
Well,
I see one, I go the other way.
I
Hang
do
out
too.
with opossums, though.
Possum's cool as fuck.
They're
dude.
safe.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
They're rabies free.
Well, anyways, how we're in our Labor Day weekend. We're celebrating the
Labor?
brave
Labor. Yeah, celebrating labor.
Yeah, the Labor Day weekend while we celebrate the fruits of our labor for our corporate overlords, and also celebrate
No. We're celebrating the 99%.
Also celebrating the brave men and women who fought for our right to have an 8-hour work week, which I know that all of us here at the table don't work 8 hours, but
Henry Ford.
yeah. So, you know,
That
a lot of people died. A lot of people died in the protest for the 8-hour work week.
They made a
So-
documentary about it. It's called Fist, starring Sylvester Stallone.
That's true.
I work 8 hours a week.
Yeah, there you go.
See, that's what we really need. We need who needs work?
We need another protest.
I'm salaried, so I could work 10 hours a week or 100 hours a week, and
doesn't
I
matter.
get paid the same.
You don't get overtime?
Please clap.
No, salary. Salary.
This day and weekend is for you.
Yeah, that's right.
All
We
of our
only get-
salary workers.
Yeah, we only.
I'm the only one that can't celebrate.
Doing the hard work of getting the same pay for it doesn't matter how long you work.
Do this, do that.
Well, I'm sure all of our listeners are going to be safe and sound on this Labor Day weekend because we're all going to be inside.
We are?
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
going out. I'm going out.
Where are you going? Where are you going?
Wait, why are you?
Where do you have to go?
Why are we going to be inside?
Yeah.
Because we like watching movies and media and stuff.
Oh, you
Like,
mean
we're not-
us? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to dodge COVID, so I'm not going to try to be any big crowds, but I am going to go swimming at my mom's house tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah.
She has a pool?
She has a pool.
Wow.
Can I come?
Fancy.
Sure, if you want. Yeah. It's going to be.
He wasn't expecting an
family affair.
affirmative.
Yeah.
Wait, where does she live? Just tell
Lincoln.
Address. Right now.
1408 Heron Place. No, I don't know. Something like that.
Wait a minute. I think I recognize that address.
Yeah. Yeah, you delivered bicycle parts there.
Oh, yeah. God damn.
I think I might also be going swimming tomorrow.
Yeah, there you
What?
go.
Yeah.
The old Yankee gyms again?
Yeah.
I can't go. I can't go.
Emerald pools.
I can't go.
Yeah, that's it.
I can't go swimming anymore. I've already done my time in the bodies of water. It's done.
The last time you tried to go swimming, you got kicked out.
Yeah, it's true. Tyler tried to swim at the old Red Museum.
Oh yeah, at the old Red Museum.
They're like, "Sir, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Please."
I would love to read.
Please remove your jorts away from this picture.
I really would love to regale that tale, but we have some movie news to discuss.
Find some charity, ye lad. Now's the time for Gab Chatter.
All right, movie news, movie discussions of last week that we've read or thought about. Joseph, lead us off with your movie news.
All right. I have one news story, but I do want to. I saw some headlines on Twitter that I just kind of want to roll through real quick.
All right, cool.
The first trailer for the so remember the Blood and Honey Pooh Winnie
Yeah,
the Pooh.
the Pooh, yeah.
Now there's the Poohniverse. they're making all of the public domain properties
Into horror movies.
Yes, they are.
into schlocky horror movies. The first trailer for the Peter Pan horror movie has been released.
What?
Set in the Poohniverse.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
Yes, I did not watch it.
Jesus.
It's out there and you can watch it if you would like. Next up, 15 years ago today, Disney announced they were acquiring Marvel.
Oh, that's interesting.
15 years ago.
Wow.
15 years. That seems like.
Look how far we've come.
I know.
Is that so? I didn't know it was that long ago.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Time
crazy.
flies by.
That is crazy. I was
That's like, what was the first one? Iron Man?
Yeah.
Iron Man 1.
No. No. Yeah, Iron Man.
Yeah, I think it was Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought there was something.
Iron Man 1.
Was the
Yeah.
first like MCU movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I was in my teens when that fucking
The
happened.
entire landscape of cinema has been changed.
That's
since
crazy.
then. Now we have Deadpool versus Wolverine 3 Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, exactly. Following that, Gareth Edwards is coming out with Jurassic World, another Jurassic World movie
Jurassic World Rebirth.
with ScarJo.
Yeah, I'll follow Gareth Edwards anywhere, but this is I'm very concerned about this.
ScarJo and Mahershala Ali.
That's a great cast.
Yeah,
maybe they'll
I know,
write. Maybe
I
they'll
don't-
write the ship.
It's like we had the Jurassic World trilogy. Was that?
It was a
It was a
trilogy.
trilogy.
Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, and Jurassic World.
Dominion.
Dominion.
Yeah, Dominatrix.
Dominatrix. Yeah. So that's premiering next year in July.
All right,
Dan Trachtenberg's next Predator movie has begun filming, entitled Badlands.
cool.
It's not a remake of Terrence Malick's Badlands.
Yeah,
It's a Predator movie set in the future sometime, starring Elle Fanning.
Couldn't they just like take a page from Prey Come on.
Well,
Let's
that's what
get
they're
into
doing.
That's what they're doing. They're
It's in
going
the future.
They're going in the future now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, go in the past. Let's get into some colonial times.
I like the
That's like the Assassin's Creed route.
yeah. I like the idea someone put a fake poster out after Prey was so successful that it was like a Bushido era who's a samurai
That would be
versus the
sick.
Predator, which would be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Set in feudal Japan or something.
Yeah.
And
Shogun Predator crossover.
Genghis
then,
Khan versus a predator.
oh god, he's gonna impregnate that predator.
Yeah, that's more of an alien move than a Predator move.
And then finally, this headline I thought was funny. Glenn Powell is everywhere, right? That's just me saying that.
Yeah, he is.
So Glenn Powell gives a comment about a Hollywood producer saying that Glenn Powell has more movie star power than Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, I saw this.
Glenn Powell responds with, "Gosling is a legend. I'm just Glenn."
Yeah.
I'm just Glenn.
He is. He's.
If I was
he's
Ryan, I'd be a 10.
nice.
Very good.
He's Glennuff.
Yeah, that's right.
So those are just some quick headlines that I saw.
I like that. That's a good humility there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
It
like
was
if you look at him, so Glenn Powell, I haven't even heard of him until like these news stories came out with him saying that he has more star power than Ryan Gosling. And
You haven't heard of him until that news story a week ago?
Yeah.
What
Really?
about Twisters?
I haven't seen it.
Twisters.
What about Anyone But You?
Top Gun.
Top Gun Maverick.
I haven't seen it.
All the things we've talked about on the show many times.
I
Shark
don't
Boy
remember.
versus Lava Girl.
Yeah, duh.
Oh, he was in there.
Yeah, he was apparently. But yeah, and then my main news story. I think I talked about the Josh Safdie ping pong movie a few weeks ago. Did I talk about? I thought I brought it up.
I don't think so. I think you. I remember no ping pong related talk because I saw the headline about the movie.
I could have sworn I brought it up. Maybe I just sent it to the group chat or something.
You might have brought up their collaboration, but not that it's a ping pong movie. We need more ping pong movies.
Yeah, when he had Balls of Fury.
Yeah,
Fury,
I was saying
Forrest
Balls of
Gump.
Fury.
That one
Forrest
part in
Gump.
Forrest Gump. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, there's a bit in Beer Fest.
Oh
He
yeah.
said I was playing ping pong and ding dang or something like that.
So Josh Safdie is directing a biopic ping pong movie entitled Marty Supreme, and it's being distributed and produced by A24.
Surprised.
And
Marty
Timothy Chalamet will be playing the lead role of Marty Supreme.
Again, surprise.
And joining the cast in her first big screen role since 2019's Endgame, Avengers Endgame, is Gwyneth Paltrow.
She's still a thing?
Yeah. Yeah, she's still got gooping.
She made her money. She made her money off Yanni eggs, and now she's done. She's back.
Goop,
Alright.
yeah, Goop was not the commercial success that she thought it was going to be. And she's going to a Safdie movie and an A24 movie.
That's wild.
I mean,
Wild
she's a-
return to form.
I mean, I can't recall like any role that I didn't like her in. I thought
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah, she's a good
It's only,
actress.
it's only when the camera.
It's only her personality in real life.
When she's off screen, and you're like, Jesus fuck. No,
Yeah.
don't with the alkaline lemon water.
yeah.
Alkaline water. Yeah. So since her role as Pepper Potts in Avengers Endgame, she has somewhat stepped away from Hollywood, but she did appear once in a series called The Politician in 2020, saying she doesn't miss screen acting and had a desire to one day do a Broadway play. She did, however, joke that if anyone could get her back to acting, it would be Robert Downey Jr., her co-star in Avengers.
Well, he's probably very charismatic.
So Downey Jr. obviously is returning as Doctor Doom, and the only person to get Downey Jr. back is also Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
and $90 million.
I was gonna say it's Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah.
That's who got him back.
So there's no plot or character details about Marty Supreme or her whatever character she's playing, but it's just I just think it's so interesting that now first we have Hugh Grant appearing in an A24 movie. And now we have Gwyneth Paltrow. So all these like older generation of actors are like, there's something about this A24.
Yeah.
Maybe I should give the millennials a shot.
Yeah.
They're thinking if it worked for Pattinson, it could work for me.
Her starring, her most important role, obviously Shallow Hal.
That's her most important role.
In my head.
Now it's the head from Seven.
Oh yeah, spoilers.
If you haven't seen Seven now, get the hell out of here. I'm just kidding. Please don't leave. Please. Don't
Probably
turn
my
this off.
favorite role of hers is probably in Tenenbaums, Royal Tenenbaums. I think she's probably the best.
She's
in
really
that.
she's really good in that.
Yeah. Talented Mr. Ripley.
I like her as Pepper Potts though.
Yeah, I
Seven-
do too.
I don't care about Pepper Potts.
I don't care about the character, but she's good.
She
I'm
fills
sure.
the role that she was. She fills the role that she was given.
Hey.
She's a person
The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society covered on this show has Glenn Powell in it.
It
Tyler?
does?
Yes.
It does.
As who?
Mark Reynolds.
Oh, Mark Reynolds.
The one.
Oh.
The one and only.
She's in Talented Mr. Ripley as well. Great Expectations, Emma, and obviously Iron Man. And I guess she was in Glee. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I think I recall her being in Glee.
Did you watch Glee?
No, my sisters
You're-
were into it, so
they're-
I didn't.
Oh, you weren't a Gleek.
Did not. No, I think I actually bashed a couple of them in the theater class when the teacher left the room.
Physically?
Yeah.
Oh.
Tyler, tie your laces up. They're bright red. I can see them from across the table.
Oh yeah, What a great
Your
great
boots.
bit.
Your
Yeah.
boots. In the chat, Dallas says that you didn't bring up the ping pong conversation.
I could have swore I did.
Is he going to be the show
Maybe
historian now?
You were sick that day.
I guess so.
Yeah, we need a Giovanni for the show, which is a Adam Carolla Film Vault era sort of lore
Reference.
It's like a super fan that knows literally everything about the show.
Yeah.
It's like
that
Mel from Fly the Conchords.
yeah, that person is Jack Fitzpatrick.
Oh, yeah.
He will live tweet at us while watching the show and say, "You fool! That was directed by so and so."
He's a human index of podcast information.
Yeah, that's right. And then Angry Otter's in the chat, and he says her best role was Talented Mr. Ripley, which was she was very good. She was very
I haven't seen that.
charming in that. I saw the appeal, I think, for the first time.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's joining Timothée Chalamet as in some aspects.
Well, cool.
In a ping pong biopic.
All right.
A movie about ping pong.
You had me at Safdie.
Safdie. Josh
Oh.
Safdie.
Yeah.
Mr. Josh Safdie. Pete, what do you got for us today?
All right. So, you guys ever seen a movie called Pitch Black?
Yeah.
Yes.
The wonderful Pitch Black, starring a then unknown
Vincent.
Vincent Diesel, vehicle identification number Diesel. So Vin Diesel is taking it back to his roots with a fourth in the Riddick franchise. It's going to be called Furia.
Furia.
Riddick colon Furia.
Not to be confused with Furiosa.
Furiosa.
Yeah, Furia Road. And so this is the fourth in the series. First one being, of course, Pitch Black, where we got this gem. Let me see if I can find this clip here.
Where the hell can I get eyes like that?
Gotta kill a few people. Then you gotta get sent to a slam where they tell you you'll never see daylight again.
That's where the game
Pick up
takes
a
place.
doctor. You pay him 20 menthol cools to do a surgical shine job on your eyeballs.
So you can see who's sneaking up on you in the dark.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. You paid doctor 25 school cigarettes.
I mean, that movie was just really awesome.
It was life changing for me.
Yeah.
I cannot overstate how excited I was when I saw that movie for the first time.
Yeah. Did you see it in theaters or at home?
I don't know.
I saw it.
What,
At,
Pitch Black?
Pitch Black, yeah.
I saw
I
it
saw
at
it at
home.
home.
I definitely saw it at home. I didn't see it in theaters.
I thought that movie was the fucking coolest when I saw it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. It was short, simple, to the point, and
Mm-hmm.
I think Vin Diesel really leaned in on Riddick.
I enjoyed
as a character.
Chronicles of Riddick. The
Yes.
the sequel. That was pretty fun.
So
Yeah.
the Riddick it's a very interesting franchise. It's become like a little bit of a cult classic mainstream title. And the franchise as a whole was the launching pad for Vin Diesel's career. It basically painted him as this leading man star, action movie star, when before he was a breakdancer.
Right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
he was a breakdancer.
Oh, I think I've seen
a
clips.
b-boy with hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just let it grow back. Just like that Elaine's boyfriend just chooses to shave it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like our main character or movie we're reviewing this week.
So the creators of the series are Ken and Jim Wheat. They're brothers, and they created the series in the year 2000. There were 3 full-length movies, 1 animated short, and a couple of video games.
I think they had a comic book series too, if I'm not
there was
mistaken.
it was a moving comic web series.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Joseph, you played the game, right?
Yeah. Chronicles of Riddick: Escape from Butcher Bay.
Butcher Bay. That's
Yeah.
cool. That's a cool name. I
Yeah.
like Dallas played the game too. He says the game was so damn good.
It was fun, from what I remember.
Oh, hi, Auntie Amy. My Auntie Amy's in the chat. She says she loved Emma, which I guess Paltrow was in.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I never played the game before. Xbox, right?
Xbox.
Was it one of those? Oh, it was a platinum hit.
Yeah, platinum hit, baby.
I used to wait for those to come out because I'm like, number one, it's good because it made platinum.
Well, I'm not surprised
it's
with all the
cheaper.
steel books that you collect.
What?
I'm not surprised that you would wait for the platinum hits because you get all the steel books of movies.
Well, well, I'm saying the platinum hits were a video game release after they had like the $60 initial release, like a year or two later when they became like a very popular selling game, they would re-release it as a platinum hit and give it a discounted price.
Yeah.
So
it was discounted?
It would be like $30 instead of $60.
You just have to wait.
You got to wait 2
I thought you
years.
were just for the clout. Like, I got the platinum version, bro.
If I'd be like, I bought this before it was platinum.
I mean, when Halo 2 came out, I basically got the steelbook version of that.
oh yeah, they had the freaking
With all silver version of that.
Yeah, that was dope. Yeah, that was life changing.
I know.
Halo, that series, man, took so much of my fucking youth.
And my money.
So, anyways, Vin Diesel has confirmed he's going to be returning to his character in the 4th feature film Riddick Furia, which begins filming this month.
Oh.
So it's going to continue the franchise, and I have some Rotten Tomato ratings
Of what?
of the series right now.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Pitch Black, 60 on the Tomato Meter, 77 audience score.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
That's respectable.
Pretty good. I think that's probably about right, 75, 77% for audience.
I would,
Yeah, I'm surprised, honestly, the critics weren't higher on it because it was a pretty cool concept.
It was.
And it was executed well. Bold lighting choices, interesting, creature design, and I think they utilized the CG for that, the year 2000 pretty well.
Yeah.
And then we go to the Chronicles of Riddick. Is the next one. Yeah, the Chronicles of Riddick is number 2. This one, 29 tomato ratings. 29 with a 65% audience score.
Oh, okay.
At least they liked it. They were just happy to see Vin again.
Yeah. Vin.
And then...
hey, Vin.
Yeah, and then just Riddick.
That one was terrible.
Yeah, that
was awful.
That one has the lowest audience score of 56, but somewhere in the middle. It's actually pretty close to Pitch Black with a critic score of 58%.
Oh, my God.
60 is the original.
Wow.
That one's terrible.
Apparently 60 is what you need to get a fresh score on the tomato meter because that's at 58 and it's rotten.
They keep lowering the the bar.
Which is the one where they ran from the sun?
That's Chronicles of Riddick.
Okay, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that's Chronicles.
It's going to be the 4th in the movie series. I'm trying to see. So here's the quote. Our legions of fans have demanded it for years.
Legions.
And now we're finally ready to honor their call to action with Riddick Furia.
Okay, you wanted it.
Yeah, this is from Vin himself. My collaboration. And this is from David Thawi.
Oh, Chris is at Bach, huh?
What's that?
Chris Geiger's in the chat, and he's like, "Hello from Bach downtown."
The hell is Bach?
It's a chicken sandwich place.
Oh,
there's a
these
speakeasy.
names are out of control.
There's
Bach.
there's a speakeasy in there.
Oh, that's cool.
It's called the Roost.
That's not a
out of control.
No, I think you know what? I don't want to get into this discussion,
Wait.
but
Let's unpack this.
a speakeasy is an illegal bar. So when my parents said that, oh, we're gonna go to a speakeasy, I was like, no, you're going to a bar. A speakeasy is the implication is it's
It's
a
hidden.
bar
It's
that
a secret bar.
It's hidden.
it doesn't. No, that's not what a speakeasy is. A speakeasy is a
Speakeasies
legal
were
bar.
hidden.
Yeah, okay, a hidden illegal bar.
In Prohibition era,
If people-
speakeasies were
If you
illegal.
already know what a speakeasy is, like as far as what it is within this chicken sandwich restaurant, then it's not a speakeasy.
It's still a speakeasy.
There's nothing spoken easily about.
Wait, what? How dare you?
It's still a speakeasy.
On your free time? What do you
It's
mean
not a
doesn't make any
speakeasy.
Yes, it
sense?
is.
How dare you say
Hillary
that?
Swank is a whole nother conversation.
Because the experience is the same as when you would go to a speakeasy,
No.
more or less.
That's a faux. It's faux speakeasy.
So you're just an elitist.
Yeah.
That's right. I know my speakeasies.
Tyler's like, I don't smoke cigarettes.
You don't even
unless
go
they're
to speakeasies.
unfiltered. Otherwise, those are just baby cigarettes.
Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
The purity of it has to be illegal.
Chris, you're not going to a speakeasy. You're just going to a bar that's hidden
He's
from
not
the
there.
restaurant.
He's not even there. He's at
at
the
the
restaurant.
yes.
Why are you so angry?
I've been to that speakeasy plenty of times.
It's not a speakeasy.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Go ahead.
You know why they call it speakeasy?
Because it's easily spoken about.
No, it's not easily spoken about. You don't want to share it. It's like Fight Club. You shouldn't be talking about it.
I know.
Because when you're inside there, you got to talk quiet. You got to got quiet, or else you're gonna get caught. The fuzz is coming.
Speak easy.
Yeah. All right, there. I hear you in there.
the law.
Yeah, that's right. So, anyways, I'll just skip over all this. They're basically just saying that they're stroking themselves off, saying, "Hey, you asked for this.
We're gonna give it to you."
This is art." So,
and then they just spit on their hand.
I will say that I'm gonna watch this. Though.
I mean,
will watch
yeah,
this.
yeah.
I probably could skip it.
Okay. Well, is that it? Is that all you got, Pete?
I don't like that Joseph is so recklessly throwing away the fourth in the Riddick franchise, a defining movie series of our generation.
I just don't like Vin Diesel.
Well, that's true.
Why not? What's wrong with him?
He's just gotten worse as time has gone on. I don't know.
Maybe
as a person. He's kind of
maybe A24 can ump his career in acting.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
He plays a dramatic role in some.
He's got a couple movies that he has a dramatic role in. There's one where he's like a process clerk at a like law firm, and he's got hair. I don't know what it is, but
he's not a breakdancer.
No, he's not a breakdancer. Not a breakdancer with hair. Just
I can't even imagine
hair.
Vin Diesel with hair.
It's curly.
It is.
Yeah. It's
curly.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to Google that. That's...
Yeah. All right, that's all I got, Tyler.
Alrighty. So my news story comes from IndieWire.com. So Winona Ryder, she's been in the zeitgeist recently due to her starring in the new Beetlejuice movie.
Oh, she's not stealing things.
No, she's. I think she's left her shoplifting career behind her.
I saw a thing where somebody said they didn't let her in the Criterion closet because they didn't want to have to check her bag.
Oh my god! Good joke.
Yeah.
But she says she's disappointed by younger co-stars who aren't cinephiles, and that actors should be interested in movies. And I thought, okay, this is just another boomer saying like,
I don't think she's a boomer.
Yeah, she is.
I think she's Gen
X.
Gen X, yeah.
Oh, whatever. Same shit. She says the first thing they say is, "How long is it?" referring to younger people in regards to movies. And I kind of got triggered by that statement because I've said that.
You say that all the time.
All the time.
I say,
it's 2 hours.
You go, what's the runtime on that?
Yeah. 2 hours?
2.5 hours? Jesus
I got better things to do, like loathe myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Lament life.
But she did, she goes on to say, "I don't mean to sound so hopeless. There are a few that are just not interested in movies," regarding her co-stars, her younger co-stars. Like the first thing they say is, "How long is it?" Yeah, fuck you, Winona Ryder. Maybe I have somewhere to be instead of watching a boring movie for 3 hours.
She's Gen X, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I just checked. Born in 71. The cutoff is 64 for boomers.
However, she did compliment her co-star Jenna Ortega. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
What?
Stupid website.
Tyler, when are you going to learn? Just screenshot your
I know.
stories.
I know.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I know. Okay, well, so Jenna Ortega referred to Mikhail Katazov's 1964 film "I Am Cuba." Never heard of it before, but apparently
Sounds boring.
What is it about? A sandwich?
Well, while they were on set, they were chit-chatting, and she brought up that film, and she was immediately impressed. And now this is where Winona Ryder gets a little bit dramatic. She says, "I almost wept hearing Ortega reference specific shots from the classic." And I'm just like, Winona, come on. Who are you trying to impress here? Who are you trying to impress? You almost wept? You're talking to this 18-year-old girl.
I don't think she's 18.
Yes, she is.
Jenna Ortega?
Yes. She is very much...
I looked it up. I know exactly what her age is.
I've been waiting.
I made sure.
Okay, you know what? Just cool it down.
Try to not
She
jerk
is.
off while you're watching this movie.
Just cool it down.
She's 21, Tyler.
What? She is?
Yes, she is 21.
Oh.
She used to be 18. That's how time works.
Thank you for that lesson.
She was hot, dude.
But I think
As soon as she turned 18, Tyler lost interest.
please take the shoes to that. Oh wait, we're live. We can't. But it brought up an interesting thought in myself that it's kind of like gatekeeping when people say, these younger people, they don't like this, that, or the other, when in reality, it really doesn't matter. Like when you guys give me crap about, how long is a movie? Like, what does it matter? I'm just asking how long a movie is.
Well, why are you asking?
To qualify it.
Well, that's one point. That's one point. That's a good one pointer. But also, like, it's just a question, and whether or not do actors have to like movies to act in a movie? That was like the philosophical question that I was thinking of. Like, if you're going to be in the entertainment industry, whether it be television or being
I think you
theater.
should like some aspect of it.
Well, of course you're gonna. But what if you just like the job of it, the job of acting? Like, you don't have to enjoy movies in the same way that Winona Ryder enjoys movies. Mm-hmm. So,
if you were to hire a commission a painting from someone who's you like their art, and then you somehow are talking to them in conversation, and then you learn that they hate painting.
No, they hate other people's paintings.
No, they hate painting, and they hate paintings in general.
But they're good at it.
But they're good at it.
Right.
But why is it okay for Werner Herzog to not know what The Simpsons is? And he claims that he's never seen the original Bad Lieutenant.
Yeah.
And he made a movie called Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans.
Yeah.
It's more like it could be disrespectful, I guess.
Abel Ferrara, I don't know who she is.
That's such a good impression. But it got me thinking about, should you, if you're going into that sort of medium of art, whether it be, like you said, Joseph, painting or acting, or even going as far as the technical aspect of filmmaking, if you don't like the job but you're good at it and you continue to do so, is that disrespectful to the art, or is it just a means to an end for the finished product, and it doesn't matter whether the attitude you have towards...
Well, then why are you doing it then? Why would you be doing it?
Because that's the only thing. Because that's money also, but also that's the only thing you're good at. You know, you try all these other jobs and then you try your hand at acting. You're like, let me paint you a scenario. I lose my job, and I already don't like movies, but let's say I let's say I waltz into a studio and like do an audition just on a whim.
Okay.
And the director is like, "Oh my God, you are so good at it." I'm just like, "Yeah, all right. Do you want this paying job? Okay." And so if I go like, if I go like going on the red carpet, everyone's asking like, "Oh, what's your favorite movie?" And I say, "Oh, I don't like movies." Is that a detriment to the finished product that you participated in, or
no, it just makes
you look like an asshole?
Yeah, it just makes you look like more of an asshole.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's rude and disrespectful.
Okay, so
we have a lot of activity in the chat. Number one, Bruce says, "I like playing in bands, but I hate music."
I can't tell if that's a joke or not.
Oh, it's for sure a joke.
That is hilarious.
He gets it.
Bruce knows what's up. And then Heather says, as someone who said that my movie pick, that's you, Tyler, should only be viewed by people over 71. After I left the podcast discussion, by the way, you wuss, you can have all the seats. She's telling you to have a seat, my man.
I'm already sat down, so don't worry about it.
And then she continues to say, it's not a stretch to say that people who have a job, who do a job, should be interested in that job. The age has nothing to do with it. She worked for the federal government, and she has a coworker that said that they hated dealing with regulations. Mm-hmm. Ask how long they lasted, not understanding the milieu of their chosen job.
Okay.
I'm with you. But at the same time, there's very small exceptions. Like Christian Bale famously doesn't love movies that much. Mm-hmm. So I have a quote from him that says, "I have to confess, I really don't like movies enough or films enough to be a director. I like people. I like to study people, and that's what I like with acting. For me, music, art, literature, comedy, I'll choose all of those before I go see a film. I think in that case, I'm not the right person to be a director. You should really love, love, love films to be a director."
Well, he's talking about being a director, though.
And I think that's the distinction. Like, for like a young actor, it's like, fine, you can cash a paycheck and be good enough, but not like a deep person to have a film conversation about. Like, you don't have to be like, "Oh yeah, my favorite Tarkovsky is whatever." You know, you can also be like, I
like Die Hard.
I like Spy Kids.
When Letterboxd comes up to you on the red carpet and says, "Hey, what's your 4 favorites?" You can say, "Dumb and Dumber," Emperor's New Groove.
Then there is a category of people who will say, like, you can tell, like the job that they have, a director, a DP or an editor versus like an actor will have like different top fours or whatever. Some will be like come off like maybe as pretentious or something, but then you'll have like the people who say Die Hard, Dumb and Dumber, that like accessible Shrek type movies. I think that like you don't have to be interested in your job to be good at it necessarily, like baristas or whatever, that type of job.
You don't have to be passionate about coffee.
There are people who are really passionate about coffee who are baristas, right?
And then they judge you the whole time.
But
Like, here's your milkshake, you cuck.
I think that your 6 a.m. milkshake.
It's like, just do your job.
I think that people who are like, I'm good at whatever and I get paid for it, but I hate doing it.
Yeah.
But like, you can do something else. You can learn to do other things. Like you can require skills for other things.
Yeah, but if you have a job that pays you millions of dollars and you just don't like it, I do it. Everybody has something about their job that they don't like.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, how much can I endure for the money that I'm making?
Yeah.
Right.
Then that becomes obviously a personal.
Yeah, it's like
choice.
I guess just like a cut, like a scale
yeah,
thing.
it is.
But-
and I don't. Go ahead.
But when you're when you're in a movie setting or an artistic setting and it's like a group effort, artist group, right?
Yeah, there you go. Bring it back.
And it's like you're surrounded by other people who are passionate about acting, shooting, filmmaking in general, and then you have the one guy like, I hate movies.
Yeah, this whole thing.
And I'm getting paid $90 million to be here.
Yeah,
Fucking asshole.
It's a little
fucking asshole.
But I mean,
So what Joseph's saying is fake it at least.
yeah.
At least, yeah.
At
At
least
least,
you got Winona Ryder
give them
talking to you.
at least give them the respect.
at least pander.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I mean, yeah, I agree with that. Like, you shouldn't be an asshole and say, I don't even want to be here, but then like belt out like the best performance like on film and then just walk off after they say cut and you're just like, fuck this.
I think Jenna Ortega has a right to pander if she wants to. I think that the Millie Bobby Brown has a right to say that she doesn't like 3-hour movies.
Yeah.
And I think Winona Ryder has a right to say that she doesn't like Millie Bobby Brown because of that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't
None
know.
of those people are saying all those things. I'm just pontificating.
Yeah.
Because if you're also acting, is like there's a lot of history of acting and filmmaking, and like to just like not watch or do research or whatever, and then you just somehow have I don't know, I don't want to say it's like a natural talent because it's not.
It could be.
That's not a thing.
It could be. Yeah, natural talent's a real thing.
I don't think it is.
Larry Fitzgerald has to work for it. Jerry Rice just got it. I'm not kidding. Jerry Rice actually works really hard for it.
Yeah.
But LeBron, though.
But everything can be learned.
Okay.
So you're saying
Taste can't.
Okay. Well,
Taste cannot.
yeah, that's true.
I think taste gets learned by exposure
Yeah.
Experience.
and shame also.
Shame. Wink, wink.
Lastly, Angry Otter says, she's not wrong. Actors should have a working knowledge of past movies. It's an artistic craft. You have to learn from others' works.
Artist group.
I don't know if I agree with. I don't know if I agree with that.
Art includes
assessment.
everything that is and what came before.
And that's like that was like my point just now. Just that you should have like at least
cursory knowledge.
acting history class or something. Read a book.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just thought that it was kind of a odd choice of words for her to just like in an interview say like, I don't like that my young co-stars don't like movies. It's like, oh, come on, sit
Well, it
down.
seems like the point was like, how long is it? So it's like the runtime of a movie will determine if they will watch it or not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But also they'll binge TV shows
yeah.
and spend 8
Yeah, we know.
hours.
Now I want to see the actor that's like, oh, I don't own a TV. They go that far. That might be Werner. That might be Werner.
I don't think he's ever seen a television set in his life.
Yeah. What is this you're showing me? Oh, a monitor? Oh no.
It's like
liberals.
It's like he'd be like that one interview with Bjork where she's describing like the inner
TV,
makings of the
yeah.
TV. She's like, well, now this is the circuit board and these are the tubes.
It's like a shitty.
It's like a shitty.
I love Bjork.
Great stuff, guys. Great stuff. Let's get into some streaming picks.
Movies.
Wanna watch a movie?
Yes, I do.
Disney Plus. Oh, HBO Max. If I don't get the pick, show's over.
I have grown accustomed to Hulu Plus.
Amazon Prime.
I like Netflix.
You found the pick.
Streaming picks. Joseph, what do you got for us this week?
Nice. Okay, I only got a couple to recommend. I watched more than a couple movies, but 2 of them were just rewatches of Dumb and Dumber, actually.
Yeah, all right.
And the Lego Batman movie.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
4-star movies.
Yeah.
I caught up on stream pick from both of you guys. Kind of a chain reaction of stream picks. You recommended it, and then you watched it, and then now I watched it.
All right.
So I caught up with Love Lies Bleeding. Loves. I think it's Loves Lie Bleedings.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Loves Lie Bleeding.
You liked it.
Yeah.
You did not.
Yeah.
I like the beginning.
Yeah.
I like the beginning. I didn't like the end.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it probably a little less than you, but a lot more than you did, I think. So this is streaming on Max right now. My thoughts on it are that it's like a great looking movie.
Yeah.
It's like has a great vibe aesthetic to it. There are good performances overall, but there were like small little glimpses of Twilight level acting.
Yeah.
From one specific actress, Stewart.
Really? From her?
Yeah, and also whatever her name is, Jackie, the character name.
Oh, something O'Donnell, Rosie something.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah.
I totally forgot she was in that movie.
What is her name? I'm gonna look it up.
It's like Katie
O'Brien.
Katie O'Brien.
Yeah.
O'Brien. The characters were very kind of surface level. We don't get a whole lot of lore, at least explained. And the plot was also a little surface level. And how I like felt about the kind of, there was like 2 plots happening at the same time. There was like the competition, and then like Ed Harris's that whole plot with her dad. What it felt like when I was watching it, it felt like that I was like in the backseat of a car and both the plots were with me.
I don't know what that means, but all right.
Has both arms hanging over the plot's shoulders.
And basically, no one was driving.
Okay.
And like both the plots took a backseat to like the visuals of the movie. And the ending was unexpected, I guess, or just like the execution of it
kind of came out of nowhere.
It was an insane execution of the ending. It didn't really bother me that much, like the sort of fantastical thing about it. The little teases of like her kind of like hulking, basically, like the close-ups and
kind of
stuff
sets you up for something.
Was very fantastical, and it was a cool like visual trick, and like the sound design and all that was really cool. Like it looked legit, like it looked convincing. It didn't look cheesy. And then like the 80s like synth running through the clouds was like silly, but it didn't really bother me that much. I got what they were trying to say. They became like Thelma and Louise at the very end, but just in a fantasy sense,
more willing to kill indiscriminately too.
I think there was a lot of there was a strong commitment from like the actors themselves into their roles, but overall it was pretty good. It was entertaining. I just didn't get a whole lot from the 2 plots. Didn't really hit me that hard. But that's streaming on Max. That's pretty good. Check that out. And then we got a big release this weekend of streaming movies.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, we did. Fall Guy is on Peacock now.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
The Bike Riders is on Peacock now.
Yeah, I gotta watch that.
Kinds of Kindness is on Hulu now.
I gotta watch that.
I know. And so last night I watched Fall Guy.
Ooh.
Extended edition.
What?
Yes.
You said extend.
Yeah. 20. It's like 20 extra minutes of
that's cool
of stuff, and I haven't seen the theatrical cut, so I don't know what was added or not. And this was a super fun movie.
Hell yeah,
super fun movie. It was like, I want to say it was like kind of like unique, like a unique take on like an action movie because of the nature of like it's about a guy in the movie industry, and it's like a movie about kind of making movies.
Yeah.
So seeing like the behind the scenes of a fake movie was really funny. And the fake movie itself was hilarious. Just like the nature of, it was like this over the top sci-fi cowboy blockbuster. Like it was like Dune and Mad Max and like Starship Troopers all combined into one movie.
Yeah.
And the main character of that movie is he's a space cowboy with a ridiculous Southern accent.
Yeah.
Played by Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Love that.
But yeah, it was super fun. It was,
Metal Storm.
yeah, Metal Storm.
It's great. It's like Bone Storm.
But yeah, it's the original cut is like 2 hours and 6 minutes, and the extended cut is like 2.5 hours. It was fun from like beginning to end. Like the choreography and the effects, like when he gets laced, when he takes that drink, and it was like laced with
That
drugs.
lasted a long long time. That whole sequence.
The not so subtle cue that let you know that he was still high.
Yeah. You're like, oh shit, he's still high.
Yeah.
I thought he recovered.
It was a great how they utilized that too, because it's just like in the room and he doesn't acknowledge it, but like it's for the audience to know that like, oh, he's still fucked up. There was this whole scene where so Ryan Gosling plays a stuntman who has like a sort of like a fling with the director played by Emily Blunt, and then in the beginning he gets injured, like he breaks his back, and then he gets out of the movie industry and he starts working for he goes into hiding. Basically he escapes from the movie industry. He recovers from his back injury, and he's like doing valet service at like a restaurant,
parking cars.
And then he kind of gets tricked into going back into the movie industry because Jodie, played by Emily Blunt, is directing it, and he's told that she wanted specifically him to be the stuntman.
Yeah.
And so she's like angry at him because he just fell off the face of the earth and like lost all contact with her, basically ghosted her. And so she's kind of mad. And then there's this whole sequence where he is being repeatedly set on fire and thrown into a rock.
Oh yeah.
And she's describing the script to him because he hasn't read it. And it's like very similar to their real life relationship.
Yeah.
And what happened. And they're doing this in front of the entire crew and everybody, and they keep going take after take of him being set on fire and thrown into a rock. And they're like,
damn, the alien would have said that.
Yeah, yeah. And they're saying it like the Aliana and the space cowboy, like they had a fling, or maybe was it a fling, or was it actual love?
Yeah.
But they're speaking in terms of like the characters and not themselves, but it's like very deep lore that the crew is like kind of getting confused on what they're talking about, because it's like this seems kind of a lot for for what we're trying to shout here. And then you have like this extra dressed in like this like Beal suit who's just sitting there, who's like he's like nodding his head. Like, have you ever been in a relationship and he like takes the megaphone from Ryan Gosling, and he's like I had the same feelings when I had feelings for my wife's sister. But yeah, that whole segment was hilarious, and there's a lot of humor in this as well. But overall, super fun.
Nice,
super fun movie. Streaming on Peacock. And yeah, those are the only two that I have this week.
Sweet,
nice.
What do you have for us this week?
All right, first off, I want to start off with my finalizing my Alien ranking on a rewatch.
Oh yes,
I finished off the series out of order. As we mentioned last week, with Prometheus and then Alien 3. Completely out of order.
Yeah, it's
no order.
Kind of crazy.
Just caution to the wind. Here's how we feel like that. You want to watch a goofy alien movie tonight? All right, let's watch Resurrection. You want to watch something awe-inspiring and and with a bunch of new ideas? Prometheus time. Let's do it. So I watched Prometheus again. The entire series is on Hulu. If you don't have Hulu, you're missing out. A lot of good stuff on there. So this is still a 4-star, maybe 4.5-star movie. It's really, I fucking love Prometheus. I saw it in theaters with my dad on first run. Tons of new lore, beautiful visuals, and David becomes a defining character for the franchise.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Yeah, we have, people think of the Alien series, they think of Ripley.
Right.
people probably also think of Lance Henriksen as Bishop, and now David with the introduction of Fassbender into the franchise. I love his character, and I really hope to God that Ridley, before he keels off, he is able to complete his trilogy, because the David trilogy is something that when I saw Prometheus, it's like, ooh, that's a cool character. I wonder what they're going to do with it. And then you come back with Covenant, and he comes back again.
Yeah.
And you don't even realize he's going to be there. He like comes in as this shadowy figure. You're just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, my mom's in the chat. Hello, mother.
Warming up the pool.
Yeah, exactly. So David is a character that I didn't quite know that I needed in the series. And in Prometheus, he's just the best. He's so conniving, and he's smug and smarmy.
And like the way that he's like presented to, like, you can't really trust him. It's kind of you get into like the mental state of Ripley when she sees the android in the first Alien, where like you just like you can't trust them.
Well, the funny thing about Prometheus too is like when the opening of the movie has Guy Pearce, and he has this just wonderful backhanded sort of like fuck you to his creation, who's David, and he's like, David, get me that tea.
Isn't that in Covenant? That's the beginning of Covenant.
Is it in Covenant?
Yeah,
Okay.
when he's young.
See, there's the problem with with watching them completely out of order. So anyway, so that comes to the next one, but it's an addition to the character.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, because the first time we see David in this, he's just he's walking around the ship without anybody awake.
Yeah, he's like watching that old movie. And
He's watching,
like,
it's Lawrence of Arabia.
Yeah.
And he's bleaching his roots.
Yeah.
Which is a great like bit about the fact that Android's hair grows.
he does the basketball.
Yeah, he does basketball. He's riding the bicycle. He's just living his best life.
Yeah, living his best life.
And then everybody wakes up and is like, "Oh, David, fuck you. You'll never be a real person." And old Guy Pearce comes in the hologram. It is the worst makeup.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's really bad.
It's worse than
really bad.
it's worse than the aforementioned Winona Ryder in Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
We're like 2.5 decades later, and we can't get better old makeup than that.
Yeah.
It's more about her performance on that.
Oh my god! Yeah, both of them. So
I'm an old man.
he talks. Yeah, he talks.
Don't
really,
you see how old I am?
Yes. By the time you see this, I'll already be dead. Yes. And but yeah, it's watching Guy Pearce as old Guy Pearce is so frustrating, because this movie, I love it so much, and that is just a huge stain that brings it down to 4 stars, I think, from 4.5.
Really?
Not the running straight in the.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I chalk that up. The running of the spaceship, it's like a donut, more or less a croissant shaped ship. Croissant. And and the croissant is rolling forward. And then Charlize Theron is running also forward instead of to the side. I chalk that up to the same thing as like not being able to get your keys in the door when a slasher is killing you.
Yeah, being panicked.
Yeah, you're panicked.
You have this huge.
And also, she doesn't have the perspective that we do, the wide shot of the ship and how it's rolling.
Yeah.
So anyways, the stain of old Guy Pearce brings us down to 4 stars. But there is the little like cobra looking alien that comes out of the vase, the black goo vase.
He's breaking that guy's arm.
Breaks the guy's arm and then kills Sean Harris's character, melts his face.
He turns into a zombie.
Yeah, I watched a behind the scenes VFX like short. It was like 25 minutes of how they like a lot of the VFX for this. And there was a whole segment. They shot an entire bit where Sean Harris's character is morphing into an alien-like creature. His face is elongated, and his front of his face is smoothed out, and his eyes move to the back of his head and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And it looks crazy, and his like arms are longer. He's basically slowly morphing into a xenomorph.
Oh, okay.
Which would really fucking piss off the fanboys, I think.
Oh, like he himself is turning into a xenomorph?
Instead of one birthing from him, he's slowly changing to one.
That'd be weird.
Yeah, it looked amazing, but I don't think that it meshed with the, I guess, like the life cycle that they wanted to present.
The lore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, they fuck up the life cycle here too. They have the giant like starfish looking tentacled creature that births out of Noomi Rapace.
Yeah.
What a phenomenal tense scene that is.
Yeah.
That's the best scene
it's so good.
in an alien movie.
Oh, it's really good. It's so tense.
Wait, hold on. You're saying that's the best scene out of the whole Alien series?
In an alien movie, that is one of the best scenes.
In the Alien series or in an Alien movie in general?
In an Alien movie.
That's the same thing. Alien movie, Alien series.
Okay.
It's one of the best scenes in an Alien movie.
What's your favorite scene?
The chestburster scene in the first one, obviously.
It's good. Very good. Iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah, iconic.
Yes.
I would say that.
I think the basketball scene with Ron Perlman, though, is the best
Now
one.
we're talking. Now we're talking.
That is correct.
Also, the baby in Resurrection getting sucked out of the hole.
Yeah, that scream.
I don't mean to
God.
I don't mean to derail, but I think my favorite shot is when Jonesy is watching the flight crew guy.
Harry Dean
and
Stanton.
it just has like that wide shot of the cat's face, just like
staring.
watching.
Yeah,
that's
like,
the real.
"Good."
That's the real threat. Is that cat?
Yeah, I think my favorite is Idris Elba in Prometheus trying to hit on Charlize Theron. He's like, you don't gotta act like you don't want it.
God,
with his little squeeze box accordion.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, there's so many like new additions to the lore in this that it's beautiful and it's beautifully shot. It has a consistent, stupid run of decisions that the characters make. But every movie has that in the franchise. They come to the first planet. They land on the distress signal.
Yeah.
And
well, almost everybody dies in every movie.
John Hurt gets the face hugger on him.
Yeah.
It's John Hurt, right?
Yeah.
And they bring him with the thing on his head and neck onto the vessel.
Yeah.
Well, they don't know.
There's protocols for that. You're supposed to get like sanitized and like be in the like
quarantine,
the little mud room and the quarantine and stuff. They skip all that shit. They're like, bring them in.
Aren't they just like construction workers basically?
They're miners.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
over 18 miners.
A lot of the criticisms that were thrown at Prometheus was the bad decision making of the scientists and stuff.
They're all making bad decisions.
Yeah, but here's the thing though: if you watched the director's cut, Guy Pearce's character explains why he chose the scientists that he chose is because they were faith based. Because if how do you say her name?
Numi Rapace.
Numi Rapace. If you see throughout the movie, she's wearing a cross on her.
Well, they talk about faith quite a bit in the movie too. And her and Logan Marshall Green is the guy from Upgrade. Upgrade. That's they're the couple, and he's just an asshole to David too. Like in my opinion, they all got what they deserved. Fuck them all.
In every Alien movie, everybody basically dies.
Yeah, except for like one or two usually.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Prometheus, fantastic. Near the top of my list. Alien 3, I rewatched
this week.
Yes. And I rewatched the theatrical cut. Boy, was I let down.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, which one's supposed to be better?
The assembly cut.
The assembly cut, yeah.
Adds like 25 minutes onto the movie.
Yeah.
And I couldn't like find the assembly cut anywhere to like subvert that and try to go. And I was watching with Brianna, and she's like, I don't watch a 2.5 hour Alien movie.
Is it that long?
The assembly cut's pretty long.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
because Alien 3 is it's pretty long on its own. Let me see here.
I think I have the assembly cut.
I think you do in your special features set or whatever. But anyways, this is like a full star lower than this assembly cut.
Really?
It misses a lot, gets missed out. And yeah, it's fine. It's still a 3-star movie, but it's just not great. There's a lot of big, beautiful visuals, but they just don't capitalize a lot. And fuck me, that CG's bad. Yeah. That is bad. So here's my ranking.
All right, that's what I'm aiming for.
Aliens. At the top, still.
Really?
At the top, yeah.
Okay.
Even though it what disappointed you the last time you watched it?
That's how high it was before, yeah. It fell down like 2 rungs of quality on the rewatch. It's still at the top.
All right.
That's how good it was.
It's a bold take.
Number 2, Alien Resurrection.
Wow.
I fucking love this stupid movie. It is so fun.
It is a fun movie.
So fun. Hey, Aunt Linda's in the chat. I got 3 of my family in the chat right now. Maybe not like right now, but... Yeah, Aunt Linda, Auntie Amy, and
they all tuned
and my
in
mother
at one point.
Yeah, my Aunt Linda, Patreon member. So Alien Resurrection, number 2. Number 3, the original Alien.
I can't believe that's number 3.
Very good movie. Groundbreaking, trailblazing movie.
Yeah.
Not as good as the other 2 though. Number 4, Prometheus. Right in smack dab in the middle. Still a 4-star movie.
All right.
Next up, Alien Romulus. Yes, the newest to the franchise. I'm bored on rewatch. That might overtake Prometheus. We'll see. I thought it was just delightful. Number 3, Covenant. Or sorry, that's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 6, Covenant. A lot of great ideas. It's a better movie than it is an Alien movie on its own.
Covenant?
Yeah, Covenant. I like it like as a standalone sci-fi movie would be better without the Alien name attached to it, mainly just because of David, the continuation of the David storyline. Amazing. Yeah. And then Alien 3 firmly at the bottom. Still a good movie. The assembly cut would probably put it above Covenant.
Yeah.
But the theatrical cut, yeah. So
all right. Well, off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Nobody asked. But,
yeah. I was going to ask. You read my mind.
Oh, okay, cool. Alien, number 1.
Okay.
Alien 3. Alien Romulus.
What the fuck? Alien 3 is number 2?
Yes. Alien 3.
All right.
Alien Romulus. Aliens.
Romulus number 3. Aliens.
I guess I'd have to watch it again, but
that's cool. I dig it. I'm not going to shame you at all.
What was that?
I reserved that. I was number 4.
Alien Romulus at 3.
Aliens at 4, you said.
Prometheus. Resurrection. Covenant.
Covenant at the bottom, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
All very entertaining movies.
Yeah. Tyler, what did you, off the top of your head?
Alien number 1.
Okay.
Aliens number 2. I would say, man, it's hard to. I'm having a hard time picking between Resurrection and Prometheus as the third spot, but I'm gonna go with Resurrection, Prometheus, and then 3 being the 5th one, and then Covenant being the 6th one.
And you haven't seen?
I haven't seen Romulus,
so you can't speak up. Okay. All right. So that's my Alien ranking. I can't wait to watch Romulus again at home. We'll see if it holds up.
Sweet.
All right. Actual streaming picks. I have a couple of fun ones. 2 3-star movies back to back that I watched. I'm going to review them back to back.
Okay.
First one is called The Watchers.
I almost watched that.
Yeah, this is
the Shyamalan, right?
From Ishana Shyamalan. Ishana Night Shyamalan. Starring Dakota Fanning, Georgina Campbell, Olwen Fiore, it's an Irish name, and Oliver Finnegan. Olwen Fiore, she is the old white-haired, long, straight hair from the Northman. She's like the priestess.
Oh, yeah,
at his uncle's village. So this is the first directorial debut from M. Night Spawn, Ishana Night Shyamalan. It says,
is her middle name Night?
I guess so. Maybe it's Night Shyamalan's like hyphenated.
Oh, okay.
So a young artist gets stranded in an extensive, immaculate forest in Western Ireland, where after finding shelter, she becomes trapped alongside 3 strangers stalked by mysterious creatures each night. This was had some really cool stuff in it. I think it was shot well, and it had some interesting ideas. There is a reveal.
It runs in the family.
It runs in the family. Yeah. Some of the dialogue runs in the family too.
Yeah, well, nice.
Not nearly as bad as like The Happening or something like that, but there's a little bit of. It's more like some interesting.
It's not as funny as The Happening.
No. This is more a more serious movie, and there's some like very very clunky expositional reveal. At the end. There's a connection between the main antagonist and the protagonist in a way that like kind of like wraps up the whole story and like why she's dealing with her trauma and how this relates to the creatures that are stalking her and stuff like that. And you're like, she literally, it's like if you were to type in The Watchers ending explained and then copy paste the script from that video into the character actually saying it, it's that bad. It's that clunky. Like she's like, oh, you're doing this because of me, and I've already learned to do it, so you should do that too.
Oh no!
And you're like, okay, it's like tough.
What is this?
It's like a 3-paragraph long like soliloquy about like explaining the whole fucking movie. Like it's rough. Like that's the stuff that brought it down for me.
Yeah.
It didn't really bother me that much, but I was like, that's funny. It's just spelling it all out there. And then there's other things too, like. At one point, one of the characters, she's getting beat up in a house, and then the thing that's beating her up leaves the house and goes in the middle of the yard, and then comes back and like beats her up again, and it's almost like the shot they wanted was in the yard.
Oh, Okay.
So the character had no reason to go outside and then come back in again, but the shot looked better outside.
Yeah.
So they just had him do that.
It's like, wait a minute, I'm not done with you.
Yeah. Okay, now you're done with her. You go out in the yard, and then is there like an exchange of dialogue there? A little bit. Not enough to like necessitate this person to come back in and start beating this character up
Is
again.
that all you got?
Yeah, none of that stuff. It was so it's just like the cracks show a little bit. That's like 3-star movie, maybe 2.5. But I thought the actual like reveal of what is happening and what the Watchers are, you do get resolution. You do get to see them because there's a whole like, you know, creeping in the shadows, glowing eyes and stuff. But the first character encounters something, and what they say to the off-screen watcher that they see, I was like, oh, it's this. And, you know, me and Brianna are watching it together, and I'm like, oh, it's this. That's what they are. And she goes, you think so? I'm like, yeah, I'll put money on it. And by the end, I was like 100% right. So within the first 5 minutes, I'd guessed what it was. So it's not like anything groundbreaking, but I thought it was fun. And for a first feature, pretty good. So that's The Watchers, and that is streaming on, where is that streaming? On Max.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
It's on Max now.
Just hit Max.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Next up, #AMFAD. All my friends are dead. This is a kind of a young teen tween slasher horror kind of comedy fun movie that's really not great. That features JoJo Siwa.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's right. Tyler, do you know who JoJo Siwa is?
No.
Yeah, you do.
JoJo Siwa.
No, I don't.
You've definitely seen her in the ether.
She's that like a young blonde dancer
yeah,
girl.
yeah. I know,
She like totally reinvented herself.
Yeah.
Now she's super edgy. No one's ever made this reinvention as drastic as this before.
She's never. She's the first influencer to go into music.
Yeah.
according to her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
I
she's the
know.
first lesbian ever. So
She-
according to her,
She invented.
The first lesbian? Oh my god.
She invented gay pop.
she's very like.
Okay.
Oh, that's just because I'm gay.
Okay, so
You know.
she's a controversial figure in
Not necessarily. She's just,
the internet.
She's cringe, is what she is.
Okay.
Yeah, she was
my wife.
She got her start on Dance Moms.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
she had,
reality
that,
show.
she had like the ponytail that was like pulled back.
Yes,
That was
always. She always
yeah.
has. It's her signature, and she has a signature move that's really cringy and like, it's really weird.
Yeah, I know who that is.
She looks like a member of Kiss now. Like she dresses up like black and white striped with spikes and stuff, and she's like, "I'm crazy. I smoked a cigarette." You know. So,
dream guest on my podcast.
Yeah. So she's not like the main character, but she is a recurring character in this movie.
Is she the antagonist or
She played herself.
I can't tell you. No, she doesn't. She plays a character. And it is this is a very uneven movie. This is a movie if you want to hate it going in, you're gonna hate it.
Okay.
You know,
It's not like the fucking Rainn Wilson movie. Don't tell a hole. Don't tell a soul.
Yeah. Don't tell a hole. Yeah, don't talk into the hole.
Don't tell a hole.
Yeah. So this is not made for me. This is made for youngsters, for like young kids, maybe like 12 and up, something like that. Maybe 12 to 19.
You try to not jerk off while you're watching this movie.
Wow. I did not say that today. I said that before. But it was the kills were surprisingly gory. And, and it's like a cross between like The Blackening and Seven with a little twist of like
a mystery thriller.
Evil Dead or something like that.
Oh,
Cabin
wow.
in the Woods. But there's very Gen Alpha.
Skibbity toilet.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't say Skibbity Toilet at some point. It's like
Skippity toilet.
I get to see this.
yeah, thank you. So that's only for rent. It's a $7 rental.
You spent $7 on this movie?
What can I say? I wanted to.
He's the Rizzler.
Brianna was really excited to see this shitty movie with JoJo Siwa in it. She's like this weird figure of. She's just so cringe.
What the Sigma?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so next one. This is called Kill List.
Ooh,
Kill List,
yeah.
2011. You seen this?
Yeah, I thought I brought it up.
You might have.
Yeah,
I started watching this with Brianna, and she says, "I think I've seen this before." No, I haven't seen this before. And then she looked on her letterbox, and 2 years ago she watched it and doesn't remember a thing about it.
Oh yeah,
she didn't rate it or anything. Yeah, this is a bizarrely and oddly directed at times movie with a really nutty finale.
Yeah,
it's worth a watch for the third act because it's kind of like The Empty Man, where there's kind of there's a main story that's not fantastical, but it turns fantastical very quickly. Once it hits that point, it just crescendos until you get to this fucking bananas ending. So the synopsis says, nearly a year after a botched job, a hitman takes a new assignment with the promise of a big payoff for 3 killings. What starts off as an easy task soon unravels, sending the killer into the heart of darkness. Starring no one you'd recognized, directed by Ben Wheatley, who is the director of The Meg 2, The Trench.
Yeah, as well as Sightseers and Free Fire. Free Fire is not that great.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And this was not great, but it was interesting.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it was very low budget, and I think that the direction sometimes worked and sometimes didn't. But it felt almost like a 28 Days Later style, like where the camera's like right up in your face. You can see the heavy grain on the film or video or whatever they shoot it on. And the characters are interesting. I don't necessarily like loved all the characters, but the way that where it goes, there's like kind of like this overarching sort of underground conspiracy cult sort of thing aspect to it, which I thought worked. That part worked really well. So this is
So watch Sightseers. It's also very bizarre.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then he also directed A Field in England, which I watched per recommendation, Adam Murphy. He aired it. He broadcasted it after one of his streams.
Oh, okay.
And that's also a very bizarre movie. All black and white, takes place in a field in England, and it's like 17th century. It's like a medieval movie. So they're all like, there's like an alchemist and like a knight and stuff, and they're just kind of find a treasure. It's really, it's like a dark comedy, and like most of these movies, like Achilles is kind of funny, and also Sightseers is also like a dark comedy.
It's like clever. It's kind of like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels level. It's clever, but toned down a bit. It gets dark though very fast. So yeah, so that's streaming on Shudder and AMC Plus. I think it's worth a recommend. But my funnest movie of the week, and the big recommend that I would say, is called Deathgasm from 2015. This is streaming everywhere. Amazon Prime, Hoopla, Peacock, Plex, Pluto, and Tubi. You could also rent it for $4 on YouTube if you don't have one of those and you don't want to download free Tubi or free Freebie. This is super fun, over the top gore and goopy goodness. That's my review. It is goopy. So this
not
is
like Gwyneth Paltrow goopy.
No, not like Yanni Egg goopy. Like Drag Me to Hell goopy.
Okay.
So this is from 2015. It's directed by Jason Leigh Howden. 2 teenage boys unwittingly summon an ancient evil entity known as the Blind One by delving into the black magic while they're trying to escape their mundane lives. Again, not a whole lot of people you would recognize in this. I want to say this is Australian, maybe New Zealand. I can't remember.
Oh.
And it is super fun. It's about like a young boy whose mom got arrested, so he had to go live with his aunt and uncle in Bel Air, and not Bel Air, in Melbourne, and
Bel Air,
and they're Bible thumpers, and he is a hardcore black metal enthusiast.
Okay.
So he's just a young guy. He's probably 16, 17, kind of a loner, doesn't know anybody where he lives, and he just kind of meets some friends. One of them's kind of a dorky sort of science geek, gets him to learn how to play D&D, and then they meet like one of the local metalheads who's like a burnout senior kid, and they start a band together.
Nice.
Called Deathgasm.
Nice.
As you can imagine. And this is not a spoiler or anything like that, but they find an ancient text that is much like the episode of Metalocalypse where they find,
or they summon this troll.
They summon Musta Krekish, the Norwegian troll, lake troll. And they play this song they found on this ancient text. It's like a low, heavy, heavy breakdown, heavy metal song. And like everybody in the town starts bleeding out their eyes and puking blood. And
that's awesome.
It summons this demon, and they're like, "Oh fuck, what do we do?" And then it turns into like a zombie movie, but instead of zombies, they're all like possessed demonoids, and it is gross.
So it's like Doom.
Yeah, kind of like Doom or Monster Squad, but way better as far as like the effects go, and all the like. It's just nonstop. Killing neighbors, hunker down at the local elementary school. Got to kill their cousin who fucking hates him and all this stuff. And it is so fun and so funny. If you like heavy metal, if you like black metal, if you like any sort of that sort of stuff, you'll feel right at home with this. and it is
Sounds like a Psycho Gorman-esque type of production quality.
yeah, it's probably on that level. Like it's definitely you could feel like the DIY nature of it all, but it doesn't feel cheap or cheesy. I mean, it does feel cheesy. There's at least one person gets killed with a dildo in this. There's people that get killed with drills. There's people that get killed with their heads squashed by a motor, like an engine motor, like a car engine or whatever.
That sounds like Brain Dead.
I do like a head squishing.
It feels like there's a lot of homage to Brain Dead or Dead Alive. I mean, and it's the director was a special effects coordinator on Lord of the Rings, so he has worked in that world with Peter Jackson's concentric circles. So yeah, so this is Deathgasm. High recommend. If you like having fun and you like getting grossed out a little bit, it is on Prime, Hoopla, Peacock, Plex, Pluto, and Tubi. Very, very fun.
Cool.
Before we go,
Wait, China's gonna go.
Oh, I forgot. I'm not used to the
You know what?
order.
Maybe I should just go. Let me just leave.
Get the hell out of here.
What do you need me here for?
Before I relinquish my time, then Angry Otter has his rankings
Oh, Alien
for
rankings.
Alien. Alien number 1, Aliens number 2, Prometheus number 3. My man. Covenant, Resurrection 3, then Romulus at the bottom.
Wow.
Yeah, he's in the Bruce camp. He thinks it's a cynical cash grab for Romulus. Thanks for that, Angry. Appreciate that, buddy. All right, Tyler.
All right. I got 2 new streaming picks this week.
Please clap.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So last night I watched a new movie called Another Round, starring Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh, I stream picked this. Oh, you stream picked this
Me
too.
Yeah, we've all
Look at what you did.
Yeah.
You didn't even intend to do it, did you?
You did it.
You didn't even think that we should stream
No,
pick it.
I didn't. I didn't. So I'll read my Letterboxd review.
Okay.
So it goes like this.
Smooth.
This movie was very engaging and tells the tale as old as time. 4 middle-aged men having an existential crisis and decides to go on a bender to find meaning and the spark of youth in their lives once again. I particularly like the justification of going on said bender as a way to do a study based on the philosophy that every man is born with a 0.05 blood alcohol content, and that the number is too low, and that there's a perfect medium, much like Jim Leahy said in the show Trailer Park Boys. I am sober enough to know what I am doing, but drunk enough to have fun what I am doing. I went into this film thinking it was going to be alcoholic misery porn like Leaving Las Vegas, but it really isn't that. It's more so about how at some point in our lives, as we age, people change for better or for worse. It's the human experience. The movie lulls a little bit after they hit their rock bottom, but I think that is the point thinking about it now. It's like the lull is the hangover of the excitement you experience in the first half of the film. The dance number at the end was incredibly fun. I enjoyed it. B+ and a report. I rated it 4 stars.
B+, 4 stars.
Yeah.
Same as The Core.
Correct.
Except for that was 4 stars, A-.
Yeah, this movie was really good. It kind of made me like, it really made me think about like people. Hold on, let me rephrase that. It made me think of how it portrayed people changing, especially in the age, like we're like in our 30s, we're approaching, our half of our lives. And
Speak for yourself.
What do you mean speak for myself? Like, we are.
I'm like 75% there already.
Yeah, well,
I'm foot in the grave.
Yeah, that's right.
but it kind of like made me think about like how relationships change between, colleagues and friends and stuff because of that's just the way it is. And I thought that this movie portrayed that in a very natural way. And when they said that they were going to like start drinking alcohol every day, because they read this philosophy from this Swedish philosopher saying that like everyone needs to be drunk essentially
to be effective,
to be
efficient or effective or something.
I think it was like efficient or something. Yeah.
They say that it's not that we were born with a 0.05 blood alcohol content, but we have a 0.05 deficiency, and we need to get up to 0.05 is technically our peak,
our optimal
performance. Yeah,
optimal level.
Performance.
And so And so I like how they just like they're so delusional because they're so bored with their lives. And I felt really bad for Mad Milkinson's character because, you know, he's going through the ropes and stuff like that, but clearly like he's in a very stale marriage. His kids don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like he's miserable.
He's got a nice house though.
Oh yeah, that was a nice house. And I think the portrayal of trying to find yourself when you're in a rut of depression was really, really well done.
I'm glad that's what you got out of it because were you originally seeking this movie to like pile on the misery, like the reason why you read Bukowski?
No, it was
glorifying the booze.
No, I did not think. This movie actually does the opposite of that.
I know, but was that your thought going in?
I didn't even know this was about alcohol going into this movie. I just I saw it on my.
Didn't you just say in your review you expected it to be that?
Well, yeah, because once I clicked on the movie, I read the description. I was like, oh, that's what it was. But when I saw the title,
you're like, all right.
When I saw the title, like I was like, oh, I mean, Mad Milkinson, you can't go wrong there. So
Mad Milkinson.
I thought this movie was.
I always want cereal whenever I hear his name. Mad Milkinson.
Well, I mean, there is a scene of him eating cereal, but
probably because of the name.
It's in his contract.
Yeah,
it's in his contract.
It's like Brad Pitt eating in movies.
Eating peaches.
Or whatever.
Shrimp cocktail.
Yeah. I was thinking also that the movie feels really sterile in the environment it's in. I don't know if it's because that's just like what Scandinavian people. I think that's.
Does it take place in Denmark or does it take place in?
I think it's Denmark.
Yeah.
Well, he's Danish.
Yeah. So I thought it was a really interesting because when you watch like American movies, the difference between environments between over across the pond and here is so different. When you look at American made movies, it's not.
Yeah, it's Copenhagen.
It's not as I don't know. It's not IKEA-ish.
What, here or there?
Here.
Oh.
Over there, it's very IKEA-ish.
IKEA-ish?
Yeah.
You mean like the interiors of like houses and stuff?
The interiors, the way everything's designed. I don't know. It's.
I mean, having been there, I guess like to Sweden, it's kind of like that. The apartments are like that.
Yeah. I think they just have a minimalism approach to life a little bit more and a emphasis on feng shui.
Yeah. So that one is streaming on Amazon Prime. Highly recommend. Very fun.
It won Best International Feature at the Oscars.
I know. It said Oscar winner when I clicked on it. I didn't know what it was, but I knew it won an Oscar at some point. And then, actually, I have 3 streaming picks. I totally forgot.
Oh my grand's in the chat.
Who?
My gran.
Hey, it's my gran.
No, it's my gran.
No, I think that's actually my grand.
You know what? We're all right.
My second streaming pick is streaming on Netflix. That is Logan Lucky.
Oh, okay. I also stream pick this.
Yeah, me too.
And you intended to do it. I choose to
only
believe.
Took 4 years to do it.
Logan Lucky. It was a good heist movie and fun to turn the brain off and be entertained. I didn't find myself rolling my eyes, and it was engaging, although it's not really an original concept, but the chemistry of the actors work well. C+. I rated this 3 stars, and Adam Driver was phenomenal. I don't know. Well, I do know what's up with Adam Driver. He's an incredible actor.
What's up with Adam Driver?
He's just an incredible actor, and he steals the show every time he's on the screen. I thought it was a very unique concept of robbing a NASCAR race.
It's basically Ocean's 11, but with
rednecks.
casino. Yeah, I heard someone say when this movie came out, it was Ocean 7-Eleven.
That's what you said when I mentioned it.
Yeah, I just stuck with me. It's a great one-line description.
Yeah. It's I think who's it? Channing Tatum. He's the main guy.
Yeah, of the two. Yeah, the brothers.
Yeah, it's Channing Tatum. His performance, more to be desired. Adam Driver kicks it out of the park or hits it out of the park.
He's playing soccer now, not baseball.
No, he's playing kickball.
Okay.
He hits it out of the park as always, and I think this movie is engaging enough.
What about Daniel Craig?
I did not like his character.
Really?
He was shoehorned in. Like Daniel Craig's character felt it didn't it felt like it just didn't fit. Like, I know they have to have like the like demolition guy or whatever, but it just, I don't know. He didn't sell it for me.
You don't like Joe Bang?
He just didn't sell it.
Okay.
So Logan Lucky, that's streaming on Netflix.
Cool.
That was, yeah, I had a good time watching it.
All right.
Cool.
My last streaming pick is streaming on YouTube.
Oh.
Now this is Orange County, 2002's Orange County, starring Colin Hanks and Jack Black.
Oh yeah.
VOC.
Isn't Jason Lee in this too? Or is that
Mm.
Stealing Harvard? I'm thinking of with Tom Green.
I don't know. I can't remember. So Orange County. What?
Sorry,
The chat is
What? What are they saying about?
No,
it's
nothing
not
about you.
Go ahead.
Okay. So Orange County, the film definitely shows its age, and that is not a slight on it. Actually, it made me nostalgic for movies like this, where the story is simple, the comedy is simple, and has a perfect runtime. However, I will say I tend to be a victim of the hypnotization that is nostalgia, because I watched this movie very young when I didn't have to worry about the misery traversing through our society as an adult. What was I?
Wow, that's something.
Is that what you wrote?
Yes.
Oh.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, I want to read that again. This is for an Orange County review.
Okay.
However, I will say I tend to be a victim of the hypnotization that is nostalgia, because I watched this movie very young when I didn't have to worry about the misery traversing through our society as an adult.
Why don't you stop talking for a while?
Jack Black's character was very funny, and he stole the screen every time he was on. I think Colin Hanks showed some good acting chops, but I think his lines and direction was the ultimate downfall to the kind of lackluster performance in some scenes, but he was funny in some scenes, specifically when he would meet with the college counselor. I don't know if you guys seen that movie, but like that.
I don't know if I've seen
Which
this.
movie?
The
Orange County.
The one you're talking about right
Yeah.
now? Yeah, I've seen it a couple times.
Yeah, where he goes in, he's
I like when Jack Black almost burns down the building, and he's like, "Yeah, man, she did it. She said, I'm gonna burn this mother down. I'm pissed." And Cop goes, "She said it was an electrical fire."
Oh, I have
He
seen
goes,
this.
"Yeah, sparks went up like 4th of July, man."
Oh, written by Mike White.
I don't know who that is.
Jack
White's brother?
No, White Lotus.
Oh.
He
His name is Mike White, and he made a show called White Lotus.
yeah, he made The White Lotus.
Oh,
He wrote it.
Interesting.
And directed it. Or he wrote
Hey,
it.
Tyler, your mom's in the chat too.
oh nice.
Hey, Jamie.
He's Professor Schneebly
Yeah.
in School of Rock.
Oh, that's him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Again, it's a simple 3-act. No scene feels like it overstayed its welcome. And thinking about it now, this would be a good date night movie. And I still stand by that.
I have seen this movie.
I like his girlfriend in it too. She's funny. She's like the bleeding heart animal lover.
Yeah.
It's like
His dog's like ripping her face off.
Well, I graded it at a B+.
Lily
okay.
Tomlin, Catherine O'Hara, John Lithgow,
Oh, yeah,
Chevy
Catherine O'Hara.
Chase.
Yeah.
What does Lily Tomlin play in this?
I don't know. I haven't seen it in a long
Tyler,
time.
what does Lily Tomlin play in this?
Lily Tom? I don't know.
You're like, I've never heard that name in my life.
I've never heard of it before.
It's this person.
Oh, she's the college counselor, the school
okay.
counselor.
Oh, the one that like fucks him up. And
Yeah.
sends his resume to the wrong place.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah, he has to steal money to afford the college, right?
That's Stealing Harvard.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm confused.
No,
They came out on the same time, so they're very much like in the same like.
That's with Jason
stratosphere.
Lee.
That's what I think I'm getting my wires crossed with.
It's kind of
okay.
like a heist movie, because he has to get his transcript into the Stanford building and put it like on
That's-
record.
He has to sneak into the building, and put his stuff in there, and then his fuck up brother Jack Black lights the place on fire.
Yeah.
Then he goes to the dean's house and slips some ecstasy on accident.
Yeah. Oh my God! It's so. It's
I'm getting like Saving Silverman and this
Yeah,
and that.
It's in the
confused.
same. It's in that same era, which was like what I was referring to. Is like I miss those kinds of movies, like Saving Sarah Silverman.
Saving Sarah Silverman.
I was saving that. Saving Sarah Silverman.
Isn't it Sarah Silverman too?
No, it's no. Oh no, it's Amanda Peet. Amanda Peet or Lake Bell or one of those.
Now I gotta look that up.
I got you. I've watched that movie probably 25 times. Saving Silverman.
Sarah Silverman.
It's Amanda Peet.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But
I know my Peets.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, so you can check out Orange County for free with ads on YouTube.
okay.
I recommend.
Cool. I'll put that in the show notes for everybody to watch.
But that is all I got for today for streaming picks.
All right.
Awesome. Cool. Anything else, fellas?
I think that's it.
All right. So thank you to our cool ass yard duties over on Patreon. That's Javier, Heather, Michael, Steven, and Chris. If you want to support us, you can do so at patreon.com/middleclassfilmclass or just watch or listen on the YouTube page. That helps too. Thank you to all our Patreon subscribers. It really means a lot. Until next time. Thank you for joining us today. And for those in the chat, all kinds of fun stuff down there. Thank you for everybody for participating. Follow us later on today or later on in the week if you're in the podcast world as we watch and review American History X. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/MCFC podcast. Send us an email, mcfcpodcast@gmail.com.
And follow us on Instagram at Middle Class Film Class and leave us a voicemail if you choose to. I know most of you won't at 209-730-6010.
Follow us on TikTok at Podcast MCFC and Middle Class Film Class and TikTok.
It's in the show notes. See you next time.
See ya.
Bye. Oh shit.
Very smooth. Thanks.
Oh.
Now it's time for class.
Class is in session!
Roll call!
Bueller?
I'm gonna be late for class.
Bueller? Am I hallucinating here? Just what in the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm late for class.
You're mine now. You belong to me.
Did you study for the test?
No more complaining. No more Mr. Kim left to go to the bathroom. Nothing. There is no bathroom.
Welcome to another episode of Middle Class Film Class. I'm your host for today, Tyler.
I'm Joseph.
And I'm Pete.
And we are reviewing my pick on the Wheel of Destiny, American History X.
Look, I told you, I don't want you all coming up here to see me.
I don't care what you told me, okay?
I'm trying to get through this and you're just making it harder.
You think you're the only one doing time, Derek? You think I'm not in here with you?
He was his mother's.
I mean, not literally.
You don't know the world your children are living in.
His father's legacy.
It's everywhere I look now. What? This affirmative black shit.
Oh my god.
See this? That means not welcome.
And first time I met Tyler.
Hero.
This isn't the Terminator.
Edward for short. Am I right?
Know what I'm saying?
All that anger.
Pitched up his audio.
Yeah, they did.
Has anything you've done made your life better?
My ass hurts. I'm a Nazi.
Derek Vineyard was released from Chino early this morning. Hey, man, how you doing? Too big to give me a hug?
Oh, it's good to see you. Check this out, man.
When'd you get that? What?
When did you get
Well, I
that?
came to talk about Danny. He's headed right where you are.
What's wrong with you?
Let the kid alone. He thinks the joint messed with your mind.
Did.
I'm asking you to do whatever's in your power.
You know what you can do? You can get me shot by a bunch of white boys. I am out, and Danny is out too. And if you come near my family
Danny's
again,
out
I'm
too.
gonna feed you your heart.
What's happening, Dad?
I don't think you realize what's been going on here. We are 10 times what we were.
They're after you, man. They're gonna come for me. They're gonna come for me. There's nothing I can do. Hey, Danny! Get it, right?
Oh my god.
From acclaimed writer-director Tony K.
I love you, and you're my best friend. And I'm not telling you what to do.
No
But
Tron.
I
And
need you to
David
understand.
McKenna. X. Your story. America.
All right, American History X. Living a life marked by violence, neo-Nazi Derek Vineyard finally goes to prison after killing 2 black youths. Upon his release, Derek vows to change. He hopes to prevent his brother Danny, who idolizes Derek, from following in his footsteps. Pretty straightforward, but using a lot of complex layers throughout the movie.
What type of layers?
You know, societal racism and all of that. You know, growing up.
Anti-Semitism.
There is no racial bigotry here.
Yeah, there isn't. Not in this movie, at least.
No, in this movie, yes, there is. Not in this show, though.
There's plenty
that's
of.
kind
Tigers, Proud Boys, what have you.
So this is not my first time. This is my third rewatch.
All right.
Third.
Yeah. So let's just go around the table and get our initial thoughts. Joseph, this was not your first time watching, I would assume.
Can I interrupt for 1 second before we go into this? This is going to be a particularly heavy episode. I'm not going to give anybody trigger warnings because we're not going to be dropping N-bombs and racial slurs and whatnot on the show.
Oh, that's a Jew.
Yeah, besides that. Jew is not a slur. It is the... Anyways.
It's a noun.
Yeah. It's a noun. Sometimes it's a verb. No, but no, the movie is really, really intense subject matter. We're talking about extreme racism. We're talking about hate crime, physical hate crimes, like murders of hatred and racial aggression.
Yes.
And redemption at the same time.
So we're going to be saying some words.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're offended by those, fuck off. No, I'm just kidding. It's just, the stuff we're going to be talking about is really heavy. And just be ready for that. Normally, it's a yucking hour at this show. Normally,
yeah. If you're playing us on your Amazon Alexas or your Google Homes,
and
maybe put some headphones on.
And you happen to be in Germany. maybe put this one on the headphones instead.
Having any youths in the room.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, continue.
So, Joseph, this was not your first viewing, I assume, right?
It would be my first viewing.
It is?
No, wow.
I've seen, like, because this movie came out in what year?
98.
98. So, like, growing up, I, like, heard about American History X, so...
Infamous movie.
And then YouTube became a thing, and people uploaded clips to YouTube, and then just me not watching the movie, but hearing about the clips, you know, there's curiosity, and I'm like, what happens in the movie? And so I've seen certain scenes from this movie, never the whole thing from beginning to end.
Okay.
Yeah, first viewing, I think it's a good movie. I like the non-linear storytelling, going back and forth, the black and white, being in the past. It's like kind of reminded me of Memento in that way.
Yeah.
And they use it differently.
Also black and white back and forth.
Yeah. They just use the black and white for flashbacks.
Correct.
And then the color for the present day. Which is, I guess, also interesting if you think about, like, I don't see color, but it's like in black and white.
Yeah.
But now his whole life is in color, so now he accepts all the
It's
colors.
a real Pleasantville situation.
Yeah. I don't know if they thought that deep about it.
American History X is our generation's Pleasantville.
Yeah.
It's been said many times.
I think it's pretty well acted from everybody. I don't think Edward Norton can cry very well. And I don't think that he did cry at all. I think he just kind of made
the cry face.
Made a wincy face. I'm sad.
Yeah. It was weird when he said that too. I'm sad.
I'm upset.
Yeah, really.
He was more like,
Oh, son of a bitch.
Oh yeah. There we go. Sorry, stepped on your drop there.
I'm upset.
But yeah, overall, it was really entertaining. And really, heavy subject matter. Can't see myself coming back to it soon, anytime really. But it's a really well shot, really well edited, and the characters of Derek Ryder? No,
Vineyard.
Yeah, I don't know, Ryder. Right? Where did Ryder come from?
Winona.
No, it came from something else.
I don't know.
Oh, Fall Guy.
Yeah.
His, like, obviously his turnaround in his character is his arc, basically. It was nice to see, albeit maybe a little too late in terms of other people.
Yeah.
And kind of like the damage has been done. You know, not that obviously he was the older brother and he unlearned.
Yeah,
he unlearned everything. But I enjoyed it overall. It was a really well put together movie. I know that Tony Kaye, the director, is unhappy with his result of the movie because Norton kind of stepped on everything. In the writing and in the editing, from what I've heard.
So did Edward Furlong as well.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. They wanted to make the Derek is the hero in the original cut.
his previous self.
Yeah.
So I know that Tony Kaye was unhappy with Norton's performance, and so he like feels that the movie is not complete.
What do you think about that? Do you think his performance is lacking?
I think it was good. It's hard for me to know what Tony Kaye wanted out of it, but I feel like the message was delivered in a very extreme way.
Yeah.
I felt a sympathy. You know, he made bad choices. He is experiencing the circumstances and the consequences of those choices, and but it was all well put together, I think, even if it wasn't the result the director might have envisioned or wanted. If it was better or worse than that. Sounds like it was worse.
According to him.
Yeah. But who knows if the audience would have felt that way. But yeah, I liked it. It was good. It was really, really engaging. And
did you watch this with Deanna?
No, but she came home at the at the best or worst possible moment. Yeah, I was like, he was in the shower.
Oh, Jesus.
And I was like, oh, perfect timing. You're here.
Come sit down.
So funny.
Dear.
It was like she came in and I was like,
Hey, you're here. Of course, has to be right then.
yeah. What are you watching, son? Husband?
Yeah. Son, husband.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Nice. Pete, this was not your first time watching it.
No, I want to say this is probably my third viewing as well. I remember I watched it twice when I was younger, and it was like one of these. I think I picked it up halfway through. I like went to a friend's house and it was on. And you know, I said last week I had a friend whose older brother was very much in line with Ethan Suplee's character. He was a very big dude who very much didn't like black people, and it was like a really stark exposure for me as a young age to like that's like a true racist dude. And it was an interesting thing because, you know, I grew up in a really multicultural environment. We talked about it a long time ago on the show. You know, like when we first were learning about different cultures in elementary school, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, or something like that. And the concept of like, this is what a European person looks like, and this is what an Asian person looks like, this is what an African person looks like. I was like, oh, that's what Asian is. That's like my friend Adam, you know? I had no concept of that. We were just people, you know, just my friend down the street. And it was like this whole weird thing that you're exposed to. You're like, oh, you're different than that other person. It's like, I don't feel different, you know? But when American History X was exposed to me, I was probably, it came out in 98. I would have been 12 when it came out. So I think I watched it a few years later, maybe 13, 14. I remember it was still my bike phase, still riding bikes. Hadn't got my driver's license yet, so definitely pre-16. And I was like shocked that someone could hate that much.
Yeah.
And like blindly hate that much. And, you know, what I saw of my friend's brother was not a completely bad person. It was like, oh, yeah, he's a good guy, but yeah, he's very flawed in that way.
Yeah.
And it was like a shocking thing to me because you're like, oh, this is I love my friend. His older brother's very much like completely off the deep end. And it was a weird like wrestling of my like psyche to be able to say, is this guy a good guy or a bad guy? You know, and I'm just 13, 14 years old kind of trying to figure that out. And then I watched this movie and it just made it even more confusing, you know, and it almost is like, no one is born that way. It's
learned.
Yeah. Even when you finally get the realization of what Derek's character, the family's dad, the father of the household.
Yeah.
Once you actually get the realization, it's like, it wasn't just the death of his dad that started it all. This started way before that. The dad was sowing those seeds early on. That was probably the most shocking thing I don't remember that I realized on this rewatch.
Which I didn't like that they included that in the trailer.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, yeah.
They included his dad saying that.
Yeah.
Which, when in watching the movie, that reveal is like, oh,
it's very impactful.
Yeah.
It's like it's if they were to show the final scene in the bathroom at the school in the trailer. You know, it's trailers. Don't watch trailers.
Yeah.
So yeah, on this watch, I have to think that this is a very, it's like a super important movie.
Yeah.
I you know, part of me thinks, who needs to see this? Because I'm surrounded by people who are not bigoted and not racist and not, you know, not of that ilk.
Fucking liberals.
Yeah, exactly. We're in the coastal elite paradise that is California, as they say.
Kind of.
Well, except for
I'm your host, Outrageous Tyler.
I know. I was like, man, those boots look really familiar. It looks like what Tyler wears over here every weekend.
Yeah.
First Suburbia.
Yeah. Got Suburbia.
Then immediately followed up with.
Yeah. Tyler's like, can't wait to see that guy bite the curb.
I just want to hear that teeth grind on the concrete.
Yeah. Cringe in my seat when I heard that
Top
sound.
10 characters that deserve their fate. Tyler Noe. So, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I'm surrounded by good intentioned people who are welcoming and understanding. It's like, I can't imagine myself like now, if I were to be in that situation where Tyler, just say you had an older brother and they come over to the house and they're just a raging racist, I'd be like, that guy's not welcome here anymore.
Yeah.
I can't go out of my way to be around him, and I will go out of my way to specifically not be around that person.
Yeah.
Because it seems like one of the stupidest, most ridiculous I mean, I'm not breaking new grounds. It's like racism is bad. It's so it makes no sense to me.
Not only is it bad, but it's just stupid.
It's just stupid. Do you realize how dumb you look? So, so part of me is like, who needs to see this? But I think there's entire huge swaths of the country that this would be a movie that might actually make an impact to them. Perhaps they're too far gone. But in the tenets of the movie, Derek was not too far gone. He had a rude awakening when he was.
He was influential.
Yeah. In what way?
In the context of the movie, like he became so deep into it that he was influencing.
Oh yeah,
he was like looked up to in that community.
Yeah, and I originally didn't like the ending because it's almost like all the goodwill that it was built up that. It's almost like, hey, you can get out of this. There's never too late, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
And then when his brother is gunned down, it's almost like the rug was pulled out from him, and it's like, what's it all worth it?
Well, I mean, it's his punishment for doing the things that he did, like influencing the people. Like that was like the final nail in the coffin to make him like, this is your
penance.
Yeah, this is
and that's
consequences.
And that's what my 13, 14-year-old mind said. I was like, I don't like that.
When will you learn?
Yeah. I don't like it, But now I feel like that's a really appropriate and like chickens have come home to roost sort of ending.
The fat lady has sung.
Yeah, it's like you've made your bed. You can stop what you're doing and change the direction of your life, but those tracks are already been laid. The train is already coming, and you don't have a choice whether to pull the lever and divert it.
Yeah,
you can just stop moving forward with it, and walk away. But it's still going, So I think that it's almost like in the pantheon of cautionary tale movies, such as Requiem for a Dream. Like the best anti-drug movie you'll ever see.
Oh yeah,
this is a really fantastic like anti-racism and anti-xenophobia and bigotry movie you've ever seen. So I thought this was fantastic. This is a really, really phenomenal movie with some fantastic performances. I don't want to say anything negatively about Norton or Ethan Suplee or Fruits of Balk, but they felt like they were bought in. Yeah. 100% bought and sold.
Well, I know, Norton, especially Balk too. Like she, oh man, she felt like a racist.
I feel like Norton is already a dick, so I feel like he plays a dick well.
That's why it's hard to say, because it's like, are you just a really good actor, or are you just that much of an asshole?
He's a really good actor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to imply anything there.
He was the Hulk.
Edward.
He was the Hulk.
Yeah. So now he's playing John Denver or something like that in the Timothée Chalamet movie about.
Is he John Denver?
No, he's not. He's one of those like singer-songwriter guitarists with a big ass forehead. They put a big forehead on him.
Gave him a 5 head.
Yeah, but I felt like the performances were phenomenal, short of the crying scene in the bathroom at the end.
Yeah.
I also thought there's no tears there. Number one. Number two, it almost looks like he's laughing.
Yeah, it does.
It kind of. I thought that too.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
But man, when that curb stomp scene, the performance that he delivers afterwards, he's like raising the eyebrows at him and be like, "Whoop! I guess I got caught."
Yeah.
After murdering 2 people, one in spectacularly brutal fashion.
Yeah.
And he had no remorse.
Nope.
And it was, man, that's just like looking into the soul of a mindless, like dead-eyed killer.
Yeah.
Really, really like sent chills down my spine. Even knowing it was coming, I was dreading it through the whole thing, So, anyways, yeah, phenomenal movie.
Yeah, this was my 3rd time watching it as well. I'm just going to read my review here.
Okay.
This film is a great cautionary tale for the vulnerable youths buying into an ignorant ideology. The performances and direction made me feel like I was reading a book rather than watching a movie based on the pacing of the story, which is a good attribute for myself. I believe this film scratches the surface of how easy it is to fall into a toxic relationship with harmful ideology. And I like how they focus on white supremacy, because I believe a lot of young white men get ensnared into the trap of ignorance. I think some of the shots weren't that great, and some of the writing could have been tweaked a little. However, Ed Norton hits it out of the park, as well as Avery Brooks, who plays Dr. Sweeney. This is a solid movie and a high recommend. I think that this movie definitely, I don't know, I've heard people, so I grew up in a really racist town, where there was a lot of like white supremacists trying to recruit us youngsters. And and it's really easy to, because it's such a gradual fall into that pit. Like you don't just go into like swastikas and stuff like that right in the beginning. It's like, you know, little racist jokes here and there sprinkled in conversation, and then it
casual use of the N-word.
Yeah, then it just starts cascading into like hate.
Well, he called me that first. I guess I can call him back.
Yeah. And so I think that in Derek's position, he was in honors in English, like they established in the movie, and so he was a very highly intelligent person. He grew up. His father was racist, but I don't think Derek really bought into the racism. He just kind of like acknowledged it. He's like, "Yeah, okay, Dad."
He was being shaped by his dad in a way, but not fully.
Yeah, and
sold.
And so, but the catalyst was his dad's death and the way he died. Like that's like when everything all came to it, like like it bubbled up to the surface, and he's like, "Wait a minute, I think my dad was right about all of this," and so that's when they don't show the dad's death in the beginning of the movie, but they do. I like you said, Joseph. I like the nonlinear way they tell the story too, because in the beginning of the movie they have the infamous the infamous shootout curb stomping scene, but they don't show the full scene.
No.
Yeah.
They just are alluding to like what's going to
You
happen.
think he just went to jail for killing the two guys and left the horrors of the second death.
Yeah. And I think the tragic part of this of the movie too was Cameron, the white supremacist like leader,
Stacy Keach's character,
and he recognized how vulnerable and intelligent Derek was, and he was saying to himself, "That's a leader right there," and so he employs him to like lead all of these dumbass white kids in Venice Beach where they are, and create a network of white supremacists, which is a very real thing that happens in our society today. Like you wouldn't know how many racist people are out there that
MAGAs, Proud Boys, what have you.
Yeah.
All those.
And it was kind of chilling because this movie came out in '98, and when Derek gets out of prison to visit Cam, he says, "We've been doing a lot while you were gone. Like with the rise of the internet." I'm just like, shit.
So they're in 2001 now, wouldn't they?
No, 98.
No,
well, he goes to jail for 3 years.
Yeah,
okay,
I
so
think the present day is supposed to be 98.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so it was chilling to hear that because they were like white supremacists and stuff were already thinking about the internet when it first came out to spread propaganda. I think Edward Furlong's character was really well acted. I actually think he was probably the best actor in that whole movie.
Furlong?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a deep sadness in his eyes that have worked out well.
Yeah, and he just looks really good with a shaved head. I don't know what it is. His costume design, like with the chain and everything, he looked like a badass when he was smoking a cigarette in the bathroom when he was staring down that other black kid.
Tyler's hero, huh?
Yeah, that's my hero.
That was me.
I'm going to take style cues from Edward Furlong from American History
He's
X.
literally me.
You know what? In preparation for the show, I almost shaved my head.
Oh, that would have been so cool.
I almost did.
Yeah.
I just.
And you should have at least got the goatee.
Oh, got the goatee. Yeah.
You take his shirt off and it's got a smiley face instead of a swastika.
Wear the wife beater. Yeah.
Edward Norton was fit in this movie.
Yeah, he looked buff.
Yeah, he put on 25 pounds of muscle for the movie.
Yeah. Oh, was it? Oh, I thought it was 30 for some reason, but somewhere along the lines. Yeah. But
potato.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird that some people are like, oh yeah, the ideal male physique is Brad Pitt in Fight Club.
No.
Which is, a lot of people will point to that as like, that's like the goal, right?
There's no way you can keep that up.
No, they're paid to do that.
Yeah.
It's unrealistic. It's like expecting, women to look like a supermodel all the time.
Yeah.
It's like that's like intense dieting and starving yourself and working out nonstop. You're getting paid to look a certain way. But anyways, the reason I brought that up is Brad Pitt is Edward Norton in Fight Club. Maybe this is the ideal male body type. Sans the tattoos.
Yeah. I think my favorite part of the movie too was when he goes to prison, because he is very much about the ideology of white supremacy, and then when he goes to prison, he gets a rude awakening that his fellow Aryan brethren are not
Posers.
Yeah.
Wait a second, you're hanging out with those Mexican guys over there?
Yeah.
Fake Nazis.
Like he was like sitting next to the leader, and he was just like, "You're just gonna allow that to happen? Like we need to say something to him." And he was just like, "No, like, no, don't worry about it. It's politics, man."
He also said, "You need to get off your high horse. We're getting real tired of your shit." That's what he said.
Get off the stop the preaching.
Yeah, he said stop the preaching, and I really
he walks in there, sees him talking to the Mexican guy. He's like,
what is this?
what the hell is going on?
Yeah, really.
And when you think about the prison, the whole prison sequence of him doing his time, that's him telling Danny at the beach.
Story time.
Yeah. And so like that's a long and brutal story that this kid has to listen to, his brother.
So I was in the shower.
Yeah.
And something happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Shawshank Redemption? You think that exists in this universe, Shawshank Redemption?
Probably, yeah.
I would imagine
94, I believe.
When did it come?
94,
Yeah,
I
I
believe.
guess so.
Yeah, so it's probably there.
You
But
didn't-
I like that it really shows the audience that he wasn't really like he was racist. He practiced racist bigotry and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, he was wanting to grab onto something. It could have been anything. Like it didn't have to be like white supremacy. It could have been he was a fan of basketball, so like maybe he just goes really hard into basketball.
I mean, we've all been there. You just have one bad day, and all of a sudden you're a Nazi.
Maybe he gets into he was grasping for something to deal with the grief of the death of his father. So I think that it was just the right time and right opportunity for white supremacy to get its claws into his back, essentially.
Well, that's also what happens with most gangs. The gang leaders, they see young up and coming kids who have potential, who have like a tough streak in them, or they're sharp, or they're whatever, cunning, and they're dealing with trauma in their life, whether it's like don't have a father in the house, or living in squalor, don't have food,
and they can provide,
and they're just like, hey man, come eat with us, come hang out with us, we'll take care of you. No one's looking out for you, but I will.
Yeah.
All you got to do is go beat up that old lady right there.
Yeah.
And then you're one of us. And then it's a downward spiral from there.
Yeah. So, and I think that this movie really portrays the reality of how that can happen.
Indoctrination.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's American History X. So let's
let's get out of here. None of that.
No. God, no.
Okay, so I posted this on the Cinematics Facebook group that we were talking about this movie. Not even very long ago. This was probably like 5 hours ago. And it said, anybody got any thoughts? Ken Cunningham says, I thought it was an excellent film. I don't find myself running till we watch it, though.
Yeah.
Jason Kleberg says, great film, tough watch. Andrew Dykstra, I've been meaning to revisit this one, seen it twice, and my last viewing was over 10 years ago. It holds up by my memory. Julian Howard, great movie, and rewatched it here and there, but definitely not one to watch over and over for sure. Mitch Burns, our old pal Mitch, says, God, I should rewatch it. It's probably been 20 years as well. I'll listen to your thoughts on a rewatch and see if it's worthy of me rewatching, LOL. Matt Stillman says, I haven't seen it since it came out. Norton was great. Nathan Dan says it's in my top 10.
Nathan Dan?
Nathan Day. Nathan Day.
Oh, Nathan Dan.
Yes, we have a friend, Nathan. If you're listening, Nathan Day, we have a friend named Nathan Dan. Anyways,
That's
so
cool.
I think that's kind of the overall takeaway that most
Good
people
hard
have.
watch.
Yeah.
I mean,
What are
I didn't find it really hard to watch. Like it just
least surprising thing I've heard all day.
I didn't find it a hard watch, but I agree with the sentiment around everyone's opinion, saying I'm not going to go running back to watch this anytime soon. But I think it's a good movie to revisit, like really every once in a while. I wouldn't say like once a decade.
It's not a casual viewing.
No, I'd probably put that up there with the aforementioned Requiem for a Dream. Come and See. Let's see what other tough watches are there out there. Oh,
Antichrist.
Yeah, but you don't get anything from Antichrist.
That's true.
It's not like you're learning a life lesson. You're just like, what is Lars von Trier okay?
Yeah. Mother.
The answer is no. Yeah, Mother would be a good one. That's another kind of a tough. I don't know. That's probably a lot easier to watch for me.
Yeah,
It's way more fantastical.
Yeah, it doesn't deal.
It's not
with,
grounded in reality.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess I'm just thinking about that one scene.
Yeah, but this movie has 2 of those one scenes.
Yeah.
Which did you? Question for you fellas: which did you find harder to watch, the curb stomp or the prison rape?
The prison rape.
It's concerning.
The curb stop.
That's concerning, Tyler.
Why is that concerning?
That was a test and you failed.
God damn it! Everyone in their tests.
You try to not jerk off while you're watching this movie.
Oh God.
Yeah, because I mean,
the scraping of the teeth on the concrete.
Yeah.
In and of itself.
That was deliberate. That was deliberate.
I don't want to victim blame, but why would you keep your mouth on the curb the whole time?
Just shoot me.
Could you roll over at some point, make him kick the curb instead of your head?
Well, I mean, he's already shot.
I know. I feel so bad for that guy.
Just shoot me. I'm not going to put my mouth on the curb.
Yeah. Well, that's what he wanted. I'm sure. I'm sure you would much rather prefer that.
How old do you think Derek is?
He is probably like
in late 20s.
Well, if his brother is, I guess if his brother's still in high school, then he's probably like, I don't know, early mid 20s.
The reason why I ask is because like I always find it really cosmically hilarious when I see people like our age, but they're like trying to be like, hard,
like
tough,
like
a tough.
Yeah.
Which one's our age? Edward Norton?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he's supposed to be that old.
Well, anyways, I'm just saying I find it hilarious that there's people out there who are still thinking like, I'm on the streets, I'm a tough guy.
Mm-hmm.
Don't mess with me, I'm gonna shoot you. I'm just
he was 30 when he filmed this.
He was 30. Okay,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's around our age.
Now, yes.
Speak for yourself.
But yeah, I mean, it's just funny. It's funny seeing people like that about that lifestyle.
Like just trying to be a badass.
Yeah, it's just like, what are you doing?
Oh,
dude?
you know what?
What's the age minimum?
I think the age cutoff should be 23.
23. But after that, you stop being a badass.
After that, you should just retire.
You're saying he was too old to be a badass?
Yeah, he's trying to.
I think he said he was too young.
No. Because it's just stupid. It's like it's like when I see like all these 40-year-old MAGAs like trying to like be like tough guys intimidating.
There's gonna be a civil war and I'll be first in line. It's like, shut the fuck up.
It's like, dude, seriously, no, you're
drink
not.
a beer and watch TV.
Well, even the recent like Gen X against Gen Z or millennials, it's like those cringy ass TikToks that they make where it's like Gen X rise.
Oh my god. Oh my god! I am the storm.
We used to play out unsupervised.
Yeah.
And like play outside unsupervised, and we used to scrape our knees and just walk it off.
I mean,
it's true. We used to do that.
Yeah.
Us Gen Xers.
You're not a Gen Xer.
I know. I'm trapped in the body of a millennial. A grumpy old man.
I'm a Gen X at heart.
Yeah. I have I didn't read this last week because Tyler wasn't here, but Bruce wrote in about Suburbia, and he told us about how his take on the punk lifestyle.
Oh,
you did read it.
You did read that.
There was one part I did not, though. I didn't read. He says at the end of this whole thing, he gives us a whole bit about the cannibalization of previous movies and about that's Alien Romulus.
Yeah.
Goes on to this, and then he says, "Keep up the great work, guys, and Tyler, be a movie shark. Swim forward and always watch new things." And it was a specific message to you. I didn't want to read it to you on the show.
Be a movie shark.
Be a shark, always swimming. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Well, that's what I did last week.
I know. And I'm
You
sure
brought 3.
I'm going to speak for Bruce because he's not in the chat. I'm sure he's proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
Because I'm proud of you.
You did better.
Yes.
I did better.
That's right. he did. Yeah. Tyler, I'm proud of you.
Please clap.
My boy. Boy's all grown up. You done it.
I like the basketball scene too. I never knew a basketball.
intense, yeah.
I never knew a basketball scene could be so intense.
Haven't you seen White Men Can't Jump?
It was like
I haven't.
the
No.
game of the century.
What a crowd that is cheering for the skinheads on the bleachers. It's like old ass Stacy Keach with a tie on.
It's also
bulk.
It's also funny that there's other like white dudes there that are just there to play basketball. And, and he's like, it's whites versus blacks, and they're like, what? I don't want to do that.
The one blonde guy's like, shit, I'm part of a race war now.
I can't even imagine like you're playing with some guys and then someone takes their shirt off and they just have this huge swastika and you're on his team and you're like, oh shit.
Oh fuck.
God damn it.
I think
I do a pickup game.
I think I left the oven on. I'm gonna just run away.
The Nazi's like, oven.
Oh god.
That's funny.
But yeah, that was I loved the way the basketball scene was shot. Like there was like the slow motion. One thing that I thought was a little suspect was that they kind of frame it in a way where you want the white guys to win.
I wasn't winning it.
I mean, I wasn't either.
The narrative is like they're pushing for that. But then again, this is also the black and white past.
Yeah. True. I just thought it was
the energy of that black and white part of the storytelling is palpable, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like there's this like forward momentum of the racism until it hits the prison, and then it's like the rug gets pulled out from under him in more ways than one.
Yeah, but I knew after there was like this subtle thing that Edward Norton did. It was after the guy like did like the drug deal with the Mexican. Mm-hmm. Like you can kind of tell that he just does this subtle like mind click, like, oh, this is not what I thought it was.
Well, he's like they're not in it for the ideology. Mm-hmm. They're just in it for like the protection or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
And they're like their racism is only surface level, where his goes to the bone.
Yeah.
Which is such a poser thing.
Poser.
You're like, I'm a real racist, you know? Please don't clip that.
Please don't clip that.
He's gatekeeping racism.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you know what? I thought you were a real racist. You actually talk to other people.
Yeah. I mean, like,
phony.
I don't know.
This guy's a phony.
I mean, I don't know much about prison culture.
Phony. He's a phony.
I don't know much about prison culture, but I do know that you have to, like, more, at least what I've been told is you have to stick with your race. Like you can't hang out with like other races. I don't know how true that is.
Who'd you hear that from? Who told you?
I don't know. It's just like public, like
it's public knowledge. It's common.
Knowledge.
It's in a movie, so it's true.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
How long do you think you'd last in prison, Tyler?
Without getting like beat up or stabbed?
No, just in general.
How long I would last? Well, I mean,
before you die.
Open-ended question. Whatever that means to you.
Oh Jesus.
Before you end up in the ICU.
Yeah, I think I would fare okay. I mean, it would.
Would you get a swastika tattoo?
No. I wouldn't do that.
These mics aren't even live right now.
Huh?
No one's listening.
Oh well. I mean,
come on, it's just you and me.
Yeah,
you only live once.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my god.
What? I think I would have a difficult time, just because like I'm not that big. I'm very scrawny.
What kind of prison?
If it was federal prison, I'd probably be tossed like a doll.
San Quentin. Yeah, San Quentin.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be tossed around.
I had an uncle that was in San Quentin for like 9 months.
How did he do?
He says it was a mitzvah because when he got there, his cellmate was somebody he used to run with in like a motorcycle club / gang a long time ago. They hadn't seen each other in like 15 years. But
like, hey, brother.
He knew the guy, and the guy had been there for quite some time. But he said at least once a day you were on the ground because you were in fear of gunshots going off from the guards. Yeah. Not like guns. I think they have non-lethal.
Like the rubber
they don't have
bullets.
I was like, they don't have actual.
Yeah, I don't think they carry actual guns like rubber bullets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like it was. He's like it was very volatile and very scary.
Really?
The most shocking part of this movie was when Danny is typing the essay, and he types out anal sex interpret.
What?
When he said, remember he said analyze and interpret, and then it goes blue, like he starts misspelling like on the computer when he's trying to think of something to write. It says analyze and interpret, and then he says anal sex and whatever. I can't remember.
I don't.
You don't remember that?
No, I remember that scene. But I don't think it said anal sex.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll look it up.
Okay.
Tyler just wishes.
But I was just joking though, because it's when It's when he's typing the essay and he says he would have gotten life in prison had I testified.
Yeah.
I forgot about that scene, and when I saw it, I was legitimately shocked. I was, whoa.
It does say anal sex and interpret.
Oh.
Yes, I know.
You said you were joking.
No, I said I was joking about that being a shocking scene because I was thinking about that myself. I was thinking, why did he only get 3? Like, why was he only done 3 years? And then it shows why. And
so I'm assuming that the reason why the sentence wasn't as long as we might think it is because it was essentially like fighting off his house, like more or less defending his house.
Mm-hmm.
Like self-defense?
Kind of, obviously.
I mean, how do you explain the curb stomp,
well,
man?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe it was...
maybe the system is racist.
They didn't... Well,
it
definitely is. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, you know that like crack cocaine and regular cocaine, I'm pretty sure are like the exact same drug.
Mm-hmm. They are the same drug.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just different forms of the same drug.
Yeah.
I mean, some people will say, the powdered cocaine is more likely to be stepped on, broken down with baby laxative or aspirin or something like that. But by all intents and purposes, it's the same drug.
Yeah.
But crack cocaine is associated with lower class and, black drug use.
Yeah.
And powdered cocaine is a party drug where,
it's fun.
Yeah, Wall Street brokers and, college white kids on the weekends are partying. It's
there's an epidemic with crack in the 80s.
No big deal, right?
Thanks to the CIA.
Yeah.
The same amount of
Reagan.
I don't have numbers in front of me or anything like that, but the same volume weight of a possession for powdered cocaine versus crack cocaine holds a much smaller sentence.
Yeah.
And they've done studies, not even just in one area, multiple states where they will convict on a higher rate crack cocaine possession versus powder cocaine possession.
Yeah.
And I feel like if it's not racist, it's classist.
Sure.
I
could be both.
The war on drugs. You started the war on drugs.
Yeah.
It's really sad too. Like in 1998 when this happened, you're like, there are really Nazis out there like this that will believe this shit?
Yeah,
they
they're
believe
still out there.
Hitler? And here we are, 26 years later.
Yeah.
They're marching in the streets.
I know.
They got the same stupid ass haircuts, tattoos on the side of their head, except for this time they're just trying to be TikTok famous or get someone to swing on them. They're doing a Westboro Baptist Church thing where they want someone to swing on them so they can sue.
Yeah.
It's like it's so defeating,
Yeah.
I mean, that's still happening today.
Nothing changes.
Yeah.
Well, it's like what Rust Cole says in True Detective Season 1. Consciousness was a tragic misstep in human evolution.
Yeah, I guess that applies here, maybe.
Perhaps.
Perhaps it does.
In some people.
Yeah. In some people.
Yeah. I wasn't going to even say anything.
I'm just talking the people who would deserve that.
It was. I like when he's like looking in the mirror when his post prison and he's reformed basically, and he's in the bathroom and he's looking at his Nazi tattoo and he's like touching himself.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, I'm a racist.
Wait a second, are we the baddies?
Yeah, the whole the party scenes were really good too. There wasn't as intense as some of the black and white scenes, but I did like
just a lot of people, so it's like kind of scary.
I did kind of I when I first watched this movie, I was in fear of Derek's life because
how do you get out of that?
Like everyone just swarms on him. Even with having the pistol he had, like it doesn't even matter. Like they could have just all like piled on top of him.
And they have the worst music, the worst version of punk music playing in that. It's just bad.
Well, yeah, white supremacist punk music sucks. Like it's bad.
Can I say something about that scene? So he basically offers his girlfriend, Fruza Balk's character, says, let's just run away. Let's get away from this. And she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? She realizes that he's a turncoat to them in this situation.
Yeah.
And then he goes up to see the big boss, Stacy Keach's character. Beats the fuck out of him, tells him I'm out, threatens his life, tells him, come near my family, I'll fucking kill you. I'll feed you your own heart.
Such a cold badass.
Yeah,
line.
he was like very I like that scene a lot. And it was kind of the first time that he repented, but it's like the emotion hasn't been fully out there yet. So he kind of lets it.
Well, he's kind of keeping it low key as much as he can.
Yeah.
By not like when he's on the phone with Sweeney and like, you were talking to that guy? Except he didn't say guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you can all infer what that is.
So,
friend.
You talking to that friendo? But after he leaves the office and comes back through the crowd and he starts getting accosted, the girlfriend starts calling him the N-word.
Yeah.
And she says, he's an N-word, he's an N-word, he's an N-word. Get him, he's an N-word. And it's like, that's a part of like this neo-Nazi, like a racist ideology, which always confused me because that word is always associated with just, the black culture or a black skinned person, dark skinned person. But like, I was always confused as a child that, in the racist ideology, it's like Italians, Spaniards, Jewish people, anything that's not pure as white, Aryan, European white Catholic, Protestant, whatever, or possibly Scandinavian. That is anybody else is an N-word.
Yeah.
Right? There's my mom when she first started dating my dad, and she told her family that she's going to marry my dad. My dad's name is Pedro. Pedro Abeyta.
Pedro Abeyta.
Pedro Abeyta. Very Spanish name. Pedro. Pedro Antonio, actually. And when she told her family that she was going to marry my dad, and they found out who he was, like my immediate family, like my mom's mom, had no problem with it. But we have a lot of family up in Idaho, and she's got family back home from where she was kind of raised in like the Pleasanton area. And she said, I don't know if it was a pastor of the church or just a friend of the family from the church, called her and said, hey, before you get married, I want you to go out to lunch with you and have talk with you about life and stuff. So she went out to have lunch with this guy, family friend, and he basically said, I just want you to fully know that you're making a huge mistake by marrying an N-word.
Oh my God.
About my dad.
Oh my gosh.
And if anybody's ever met my dad, he's like, he's white. He's very white. Like look at me. I'm white. I'm a whitey. Very, very pale skin.
Honky.
Yes. Blue eyes or green eyes or whatever the hell color my eyes are. And my dad's brown hair, brown eyes. He's got a little bit more of the Spanish look in him. But that was in 1983.
Yeah.
That was the culture. It was about someone that they'd never even met just because his name was Pedro.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're muddying the bloodline.
Yeah.
If you marry this N-word, you're muddying the bloodline.
Filthy mudblood.
From someone from her church, nonetheless,
I thought Jesus was accepting of all people.
Jesus was black or brown.
I think he was Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
That's a Jew.
Jesus was a Jew. Absolutely. So it's crazy because like when they turn on him, he instantly becomes an N-word.
Yeah, because when she does that, I don't know how deep their relationship was before, but
I think he was trying to grasp onto
like they were in love or something. You know,
Yeah.
it's just the movie starts and it's an intense sex scene.
That was her ride or die.
Yeah.
Literally ride.
Yeah. But like she immediately turns because her hate precedes everything else.
Yes.
It just takes the forefront of anything. It's like people who are overly religious in like their relationships where it's like it's God first, then you, then my kids, or God first, then my kids, then you.
Yeah.
In terms of who do I give my love to?
Well, the thing I liked about that whole exchange between them was that you could see the desperation in his cadence of speech. He's like, please, just like you have to like just get rid of this. Is all stupid. Like Pete would say, this is stupid.
I say that all the time.
This is dumb.
This is dumb.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
This is dumb, and you're dumb for believing.
You're actually really dumb.
I know. I mean, I'll forgive the racist stuff, but how stupid do you look?
It's 1998, and you're racist.
I know. Keep the program, man.
But my favorite all-time scene was the dinner scene.
That was intense.
That was
with the sister
where he blows up at Elliot Gould.
Yeah.
That was such a well-performed scene. and you could really feel the fear coming from everyone towards Derek. Because
That's
he's
some
sitting,
people's Thanksgivings.
There was a Tim Walz thing I heard him do like an interview where he's like, let's go back to a time where people didn't fear going to Thanksgiving because everything had to become politics. You can't sit. You should be able to sit down and watch the Detroit Lions play the Packers, and not have to turn it into a political event. It can just be you're there with your family, even if you don't agree, because you're advocating for democracy, not whatever the fuck MAGA is.
I mean, at my Thanksgiving, we actually have a we have.
Please choose your words very carefully.
We have a rule.
No, we have a bet because we always talk about death.
Death? You end up talking about death.
Yeah.
Who breaks that? Who cracks the seal first?
Yeah. Who brings it up first?
There's something my brother told me a long time ago is that kind of like that, but it's more just like social gatherings in general. It's like it'll always devolve into someone showing a YouTube video, and then you just proceed to try to one up each other in showing YouTube videos.
Yeah. that YouTube video, it's almost like when you're driving in a car. It's like, all right, give me the aux.
Yeah,
give me the aux cord.
But that dinner scene, I felt very bad for Elliot Gould's character because you can tell that
he's just trying his best too, and he's just trying to be there.
He's like the boyfriend.
Yeah, he's the mom's new boyfriend.
Yeah, and you can tell I think he was offended, but
he was more sad for the mom.
Yeah, it was more like a sadness that she has to live in this household.
Now, she basically writes him off. She's like, "You're no longer my son," more or less. She's like, "I'm ashamed that you came from my body."
That was a brutal line.
It is, but isn't she a little complicit in this whole thing?
A little bit.
She married the racist guy, and then when he's giving her son this racist ideology at the dinner table, she just stands by and she's like, "Hey, not like that at the table. Let's not talk about that at the table."
Yeah.
It's like, how about fuck off, husband of mine? Don't talk to our kids like that, you cunt.
Yeah.
How about shut up?
Draw a line in the sand.
Yeah.
You married a racist. Yeah. You married a racist guy, and you're surprised that your kids came out racist.
Well, she's kind of dumb herself, I guess. So.
Yeah, the Norton's performance when he's on the news and talking about his dad's death, I feel like he gave a better emotional performance than at the end of the movie.
Yeah. He was a warm. Yeah, I think he emotes anger well, maybe not sadness well.
Yeah.
Although I feel like his hair was different when he was that age. Like it was a different color.
Yeah, it was blonde. But I mean, that happens sometimes. Like my hair used to be blonde and now it's dark brown.
I know it happens like when you're young, like your towhead, right? And then it turns darker.
Yeah.
But does that last up? I don't know how old he was when he's supposed to be.
Well, I'll say this, that when you grow your hair out long, if you have like medium brown hair or like lightish brown hair, when it grows out long, that's why they call it like sun bleaching.
Yeah.
Like the roots are going to be a different color than the ends. So, real quick, I know you're coming up on your heart out, Joseph. So I just want to say one thing before we wrap up. But we haven't talked at all about the character of Lamont that he meets in prison, working in the laundry area.
The beginning of his reformation.
Yes, and Lamont is played by an actor named Guy Torry, who is phenomenal in this.
Yeah,
He's like, you need to have somebody who is charismatic enough to break through like the shield that Derek has up, and the character of Lamont is like relentless. He does not stop.
Yeah,
he doesn't care. The guy, and to the credit of Derek, he was chastising all his racist skinhead friends about talking to other races. He was not talking to another race for weeks at a time.
He was just listening.
He's working face to face with this guy. Wouldn't say a peep to him.
Yeah,
but the guy just kept on yapping.
He kept going and going. He's like, I'm gonna break this guy.
Yeah.
Or I'm just going to talk because I want to pass the time.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it was the sex joke about makeup sex
that made him laugh.
that finally got him to crack. And then they started talking about the Bulls,
the sports,
and about the, Pacers and
Celtics and Lakers.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
yeah. I really enjoyed their friendship.
But at the same time, when he goes back out into the yard, it's like he's living a double life at this point.
Yeah,
he's turned a little bit in private, and in public he still has this front, and eventually once he gets the, then
You know.
then he you know what I'm talking about, the penetration.
Yeah. Well, then he leaves. Yeah. So now he's alone, and his friend is like, "What are you doing? You need to stick with your own race. You're gonna be dead."
Like they were there protecting you.
It was it was a very complex relationship they had, and I was there for it.
And then you find out in the end he was the one that was keeping the other black people from killing him.
It's a big assumption of that.
I mean, I don't know if it's an assumption. I mean, they don't say it outright, but
that would be an assumption.
It's an assumption.
Oh, okay.
It's assumed. You want to grade this thing, Tyler?
Yeah, I grade it an A. Solid A. Just a great movie. Definitely not something you should watch on the reg, but
On the rag?
Keep it in rotation.
Okay.
yeah, keep it in your
Tyler
in
tries to
rotation.
keep it to once a month.
Yeah. No, I hadn't seen this movie in well over a decade, so it was nice to revisit it. So yeah, A.
A from Tyler.
Cool. What happened to that guy? His friend in prison.
He's there for another 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we don't know how long he's been in, but he got 6 years for stealing a TV and quote unquote assaulting a police officer.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The system is rigged.
Yeah, I also give it an A. Even though the end scene of him not acting super great and just kind of laugh crying, just making the face but no tears or anything, that moment was still very sad.
Yeah.
With the music and everything and him running down the hallway and stuff. It was just the small moment where he's just like, oh God. Oh God.
Yeah.
What have I done? The consequences of my actions have led to this very moment.
Chickens have come home to roost.
How you are, you say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Yeah.
That's the one.
And then when he was saying all those lines, yeah. But yeah, overall though, it was a really compelling and tragic and hard to watch and but really well executed movie. Even if Tony Kaye was like, I don't like it. I don't like how it turned out.
Yeah.
The ending,
fool.
The ending shots of Venice Beach and you seeing all the colors of the sky and the sunset and everything when you start in this black and white, very monotonous color tone, and it turns into that by the end of the story, even if it is still a sad ending. Was great. Yeah, so A.
Cool. I'm gonna give this an A+.
Nice.
This is really, really a special movie that challenges the viewer. They say this thing on cinematics, which I really love. It's like the people that need to watch this and take something away from it won't.
Right.
I think that that's true with a lot of documentaries.
Yeah.
But when you're able to take it out of the real world and put it in this fictional scenario, even though this was based off of the writer's life, the actual character of Derek was based off an actual skinhead, a known skinhead who I think was reformed. Even though it's based in reality and it's not a fantastical movie, I still think that this is a better way to get through to someone who's on the fringe, who hasn't completely taken a dive into the deep end and drank the Kool-Aid and let it digest in them. If they're just right on the edge, maybe this could be something that just sparks a little something that ends up with them realizing how foolish they are.
Yeah.
So in that regard, I think that it's an important movie in that sense. It's really fantastically acted. The one goofy ass scene that we mentioned a couple times where, Furlong's in the urinal.
Yeah.
It was super impactful.
Yeah.
Just a tiny twinge of, I'm like, that's not a great, that one shot's not so good. That doesn't ruin it for me at all. It's like just a weird kind of blip on the radar for me. So I think the black and white, back and forth sort of cutting, it's a great way to do the storytelling. I don't know what Tony Kaye's original cut looked like, but maybe they would have put, I think the one detractor I would say is that exactly what's going to happen to the brother when you get to the end if you're watching the runtime, because you're like, there's only 3 minutes left. What else could happen?
Yeah.
And it's like he's worried about being like a drive-by from another car while Furlong is going into school to chop off.
You're suspecting something's
Something's going to happen, and you're like, it can only be a couple things.
Well, especially since he ignited, like, told everybody that, like, I'm not racist anymore.
Yeah.
And so all those guys, they know where he lives.
Yeah.
And it's like,
there's only so many ways that can end with a really short window. So, you know, one of the things that I think might have made that ending a little bit more impactful or surprising was like the SLC Punk ending.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, Heroin Bob dies out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, fuck. And then now that's a reaction, Matthew Lillard's reaction in that scene.
That was a good one.
And then you have another 7 to 8 minutes of kind of epilogue afterwards.
Yeah.
Him addressing what happens, his reform, he's looking for a job, blah, 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 talks to all his friends he met along the way. And it's like, it's a little bit more surprising where this one, it's like either Derek's going to die or Danny's going to die.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be Danny. You know, you have the whole setup. You're like, hey, that bully kid, he's came back 2 or 3 times. They're setting something up. If they didn't pay it off, it would be bad writing to put all that extra stuff, or bad editing to put all him in 3 or 4 times in the movie.
What? I mean, what did he? He didn't do anything really.
He stood up to him.
Furlong?
Yeah, he made him look like a punk.
And so I'm gonna kill
Instead
you.
of his friends. Yeah, I mean, there could be like an initiation sort of a thing, you know. Get ready, your life's thrown away, but we'll get you when you get out of jail.
All right.
So, anyways, A+ for me.
Awesome. Well, that was American History X, so that will be taken off the wheel. And so now it's time for the Wheel of Destiny.
1 wheel, 8 slots, 3 hosts. This is the Wheel of Destiny.
That's not Tyler.
All right, American History X off the wheel. Tyler, you satisfied now? You've completed your racist trifecta.
What's next?
Yes. This is going to be 2010 Cyrus, starring John C. Reilly,
oh my God.
Jonah Hill, and Marissa Tomei.
I've thought about putting this on the wheel.
Really?
Yes.
Well, now it's on.
It's such a weird movie.
Yeah, directed by Jay and Mark Duplass, also written by
I
Mark and Jay Duplass.
didn't know this is a Duplass joint.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've only seen this movie once. It's considered a dark comedy, which I think it's just more comedy than dark, but there's some dark elements to it.
It's kind of weird.
It's strange, but
never seen it.
it's really fun. So
I've seen scenes, but not the whole thing.
I mean, whenever it gets on the wheel, it's streaming on Amazon Prime. So
All right,
easy
cool.
to watch.
Okay, so recapping the wheel for new listeners or new viewers, we have the Wheel of Destiny right here. There's 8 slots, 2 of us, or 2 slots for each of us, and then 2 for the Patreon members. So I'm going to recap what we got here. Broadcast news from Tyler. Cyrus from Tyler. Do the Right Thing from Joseph. Notting Hill from Joseph. Lars and the Real Girl from Chris. Grizzly Man from Dallas. Falling in Love Like in Movies from Pete. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from Pete. So
not Do the Right Thing. And race relations.
yeah, we're gonna go 3 in a row. We'll see what the wheel decides. Notting Hill.
Wow, Notting Hill.
An only slightly racist movie.
Maybe. Starring Julia Roberts.
Oh, I thought this was Renee Zellweger.
Nope. I mean, I don't know. I've never seen it. It's just
Me neither. I've never seen anything.
Remember, it's Notting Hill, 1999. Hugh Grant, Julia Roberts. Sounds like a romantic comedy. Also starring Richard McCabe, Reese Ifans, who played Adrian in Little Nicky.
Okay.
And some other people. Directed by Roger Michel.
Not streaming anywhere except for Stars.
Stars. You got to rent it or otherwise. Yeah. Why I put this on the wheel? Well, it was just a random watch list pick. That's why.
Okay.
So no rhyme or reason, really.
Other people who liked Notting Hill also liked 4 Weddings and a Funeral, 2 Weeks Notice, for music and lyrics, When Harry Met Sally, Pretty Woman, and My Best Friend's Wedding.
Okay.
Cool. Well, we'll watch that next week.
All right.
A little lightheartedness compared to some heavy-heartedness.
The bleakness that we've been watching.
Yes. I know we give you a bunch of shit about American History X, Tyler, but that was a good pick. Yeah, it was a fun, good. I almost said a fun rewatch, but it was a rewatch that was due. It was ready time for it. Okay, so thank you to our cool Ask Jar duties over on Patreon. That's Javier, Heather, Michael, Steven, and Chris. And if you want to support us, you can do so at patreon.com/middleclassfilmclass, or just watch and listen or recommend your friends to the YouTube page. So we're looking for some more subscribers before the end of the year. If you're listening to this right now, just click the link, share with your friends. If they like movies or they like comedy, just have them watch us on YouTube. That is its own way of support too. Until next time. Thank you for joining us as we review American History X. Follow us next week as we review Notting Hill. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/MCFC podcast. Send us an email, mcfcpodcast@gmail.com.
And follow us on Instagram at Middle Class Film Class, and leave us a voicemail, why don't you, at 209-730-6010.
And follow us on Twitter at Podcast MCFC and on TikTok at Middle Class Film Class.
Yeah, this has been a fun time. Thanks all of you for listening and watching. We really appreciate it. We will see you next week.
See ya.
See ya.